Okay, and we're live. So, we have got some more indie game testing today. What is happening to my earphones? It's like they're falling. It's like they're falling apart, but I'm just using them as earphones. I don't. Okay. Anyway. Um. Yeah. So today we've got a little bit more indie game testing. Summoner's Nexus is coming along well. The next milestone has been started in terms of its development. So we're just gonna see. I just got off work. I've let Neoshock know that we're gonna do a test run, and today's gonna be a special one. Yo, Galaxy, how are you, man? What's good with you? Yo, it's been a minute. Congratulations on the baby, my boy. Congratulations, bro. Oh, it's been ages. It's. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I know I've already congratulated you. It's just I think you had a video that came up. I think you did a 3-minute Duel Links video recently, and it just sent like a wave through my mind. And I watched some of like the duels that we had recorded way back when. Man, I hope you've been good, bro. But yeah, so what I am planning on doing today, relatively. I don't know if I would call it special, but I do know it's important because today's the first time we're going to do a timed duel for Summoner's Nexus. I've also decided to start doing like devlogs on how the progress of the game is going and all that kind of stuff once the rules are fully out. So this might be something that gets looked back on in like a devlog kind of situation. But it's gonna be vibes. It's gonna be vibes. Thank you. I've been doing great. I've just been car shopping, making sure I can get something good for my little man. Of course, as you do, right? Like you're moving, man. Like you're an adult now. Like I know we were already adults, but like damn. You're shuming. How's the game going? Seems like a fun process. Bro, it's been good. It's so different from what we were doing before, right? Because, like, you know how it was before with, like, the YouTube game and everything? You're getting clicks, you're getting views, you're having fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything. But at a point, I think we both got to a stage where it just, like, wasn't as much fun as much as it was work. This just injected a whole new, like, life into content creation for me. It's low-key, obviously. It's a lot more low-key. But I've been having so much fun with it, getting to come up with elements for a game and see them put in place. It's been great. It's been absolutely amazing, right? Yo, Simply, how you doing, bro? And Stormraven, you're here. Excellent. I needed to find you because I needed to ask you stuff about the deck that you wanted made for Summoner's Nexus. We're making updates and everything. I'm still a Yu-Gi-Oh playing 6-year-old at heart. True. Like at the end of the day, right? But no, I hope you've been good. Just message me on Discord. That probably would have been a better way of going about things. Yeah, instead of just like waiting for you to show up, I could have just messaged you. I'm not smart. Not smart. But yeah, that's it. I'm getting my new PC Friday and streaming. You love this. Everyone's coming out of the woodwork and I love it. I absolutely love it. The other day I was like half tempted. To stream some Mass Duel the other day. And it's always difficult. Like I relisted some of my older videos because now that the full rule set is out, what I didn't want to happen was, you know, like when you were making content for a game, like I was making content for Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you shift away, people are still only going to really focus on the old content rather than let the new content sort of like find its footing. So I unlisted all of that, and also because I started teaching at a school, a bunch of reasons. So that the main focus of this channel would be the game. Now that the rules are out, and it's clear to everyone that like, okay, this is what we are now, this is what we're doing, those videos are up again, at least some of them that I felt looked professional enough. I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway. There was a point that I was making, but it's gone now. But yeah, just about everyone coming out of the woodwork. It's good to see everyone again. Like it's been fun. It's been nice. Let me turn my music on real quick. This might be loud for a second, but I promise it's temporary. Oh wait, no, I already adjusted it. Look at me. Look at me being smart and thinking ahead. I'm just gonna put it down a little bit lower, and set this to cycle and set it to shuffle. And yeah, we're moving, right? Yu-Gi-Oh got boring, but seeing everyone else's growth is motivating me. Honestly, like the Yu-Gi-Oh scene is so different from when we stopped, bro. It's so different now. New names, new faces, obviously, because there's always new creators popping up, but just seeing how everyone who else, the people who didn't stop making content are doing, it's like, damn, it's vibes, right? It's Hurt, I'm vibing, right? I'm living life, I'm feeling good, I just got off work, and just looking forward to doing some playtesting, like doing an actual, we've dueled before, we've had contests before, but we've never had a timed contest before where it's like, okay, we're not game developers right now, we're just two people playing the game and seeing what that would be like. I'm really excited for that, right? Oh yeah, this is my work getup. I got my suit jacket up there, right? It's not as much fun. It's not as much fun as we used to have, but it's still vibes. It's still vibes, right? Playtesting, exactly. We're playtesting. So like up until now, we've been playtesting, but from a standpoint of we're looking for problems. Like, okay, this is too busted. Let's fix it. But the last stream that we did, not even the last one, I think it was the stream before the last one, there was an 8-hour stream that we did like last week. And at the end of it, I was like, okay, yes. I think that out of all of the 122 cards that I'm planning to launch the game with when it comes out, everything in this bubble feels balanced, right? Everything in this bubble feels good. Nothing feels too broken. Nothing feels too unfair. I hope we might still find stuff, but that's no longer the main focus, which is why I was like, okay, now I can start doing other things that feel a bit more like content. So like, for example, devlogging, that kind of stuff. I was considering like, okay, maybe playing a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh again. Like genuinely, it's funny that all of this has come up because my thought process was, okay, now that I'm no longer doing all of this balance testing, there's still a bunch of game work being done along with my real work, but it's like, okay, maybe play some Yu-Gi-Oh to get some like card game enthusiasts, and at the front of every Yu-Gi-Oh video, put a pop-up for like, oh yeah, check out my actual game, and have that cook in the background. And while that could be vibes, and maybe I still do something like that, I feel like I'm better served sticking with the decision that I've made and going the game, the devlog route. Now, I was actually watching this guy. He did an indie Rumble video game and he devlogged it over the course of 3 years. And so I'm just looking at that, picking up some inspiration, picking up some notes. It's called Punch a Bunch. It just came out, right? But yeah, so that's just the vibe. That's just the vibe, right? So I'm gonna wait for Neoshock to come by, because he is our designated. I was gonna say designated tester, but then I was gonna say designated punching bag, but then I realized, wait, he's actually pretty good at the game, so I can't even say that. But when he comes through, we can start actual testing. In the meantime, what I can do is minimize this, put this over yonder, pause this so it doesn't eat up my data, and there's a few changes that need to be made for a few cards, and just update those while I wait for him, and then as soon as he comes through I can move on. So I'm gonna put the chat on my phone so I can see it, that way if anyone says anything I can respond. And that's what it's gonna be until Neo comes through and we can actually duel, right? I keep on saying duel because Yu-Gi-Oh, but yeah. Definitely get some traction going with Yu-Gi-Oh, promote your game. That might be a shout, honestly. Like I'm thinking devlogs and then have things in between that, but rather than just doing regular gameplay, I don't know. I might even do gameplay of this. I haven't decided yet, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm liking where I'm at in terms of being able to develop while I also work. I'm enjoying the possibilities that are coming up, like for example, maybe doing shorts, maybe doing TikToks promoting the game and whatnot, because what I don't want is another situation where I build a bunch of traction around Yu-Gi-Oh and then no one is really down with what I'm actually about. So even though it's going to be harder, I'm thinking of going the more trodden path, right? Game dev is so frustrating sometimes, bro. You are preaching to the choir, my friend. Saw how you doing, bro. How's your game going? You are legitimately preaching to the choir, my friend. I just got access to Firebase, the thing that we're using for our backend. Apparently, again, and I'm learning new things about it every day. Obviously, Firebase was the backend, but I had all the source files and I was trying to get someone to go through the code, and no one could do it. And I was like, what's going on? Why can't you access it? Apparently, I didn't have access to the Firebase of my own game for the longest time. But that's all fixed now, so that's fine. Let's see. So what I'm looking at are Hadrian, Dariel. What did I change about Dariel? I think I buffed Dariel. I think I buffed Dario the Vigilant. I think I buffed him. Let's pull up the avatars. It looks like these are all avatars that got updated. Ifrit, Kappa Banyan. Nope, that is a rune. God damn it. Okay, cool. So avatars and runes need to be touched. Yeah, we go from there. You let's make another channel for Yu-Gi-Oh! And plug this one often. But see, here's the thing. I don't think I would ever do Yu-Gi-Oh! Again as like a main channel, because I've gotten to a point where, with it not being my livelihood, like the likelihood of me no longer enjoying it is very high. Like I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh! For maybe like, I don't know, an hour, maybe, and call it there. Whereas before, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! As a 9 to 5. I don't think I can ever get back to that. Yo, Zane, how you doing, bro? What's good with you? Out of nowhere the other night on my multiplayer FPS game files. No! Oh, bro, that is heartbreaking. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. You lost the files for your game. Bro, that is, I mean, again, you gotta, so storing things in different places, a must. Like, I have 4 different backups because that almost happened to us one time. So you gotta get yourself a hard drive. I'm so sorry to hear that, bro. That hopefully you can salvage it from a reasonable relative like place and all of that. Also, Neo, it's good to see you, bro. I'm glad you're here. We can start playtesting whenever you're ready. I want us to do a run through of a real duel. Stop calling them duels, contest, right? I want us to do a run through of an actual contest and go from there. If I want to donate toward the project, should I just do it here, or is there a better way? 1, thank you very much, bro. Always appreciated. 2, the best way to do it is here if you use the text to speech, the one that's in the description, because that sends it to the account that I need to change the details. I use that account exclusively for Summoners Nexus stuff now, but it sends it directly to that. So that is the best way. And thank you for the support, bro, honestly, right? We'll make this public, create, and turn off that music so I can keep this music on, load. All right, so Neo, whenever you're ready, hop in, and we will be able to do a little play test, right? Right, that's the vibe, that's the vibe. So who's wandering and who's forest? I'm gonna be forest guard, you're gonna be wandering. Is there a place to find the rules for this? Yes, there is, my friend. There's an entire playlist now on the channel that goes through all of the rules, but that's only if you want like the nitty gritty stuff. If you just want the base mechanics, just watch the video that says how to play Summoners Nexus, and that'll give you everything you need to know, right? And I had all the multiplayer stuff working too, but it was a pain. No, totally making multiplayer for a while. I was thinking with single player for now. I mean, that's fair enough, but then bear in mind, if you go single player, you're gonna have to do a lot of AI, which I've learned as of recent is an undertaking and a half. I'm going to spawn. So today we're going, let me spawn the cards that Neo will use when he comes in. There's the generics. There is the wandering subset for him to play with. There is the wandering subset runes for him to play with. And with the balance that we've given wandering, it's a synergy rating 3 deck. So if you want, I'm scared of giving Neo things that he doesn't need because he's gonna spend a bunch of time deck building. He's gonna spend so much time deck building if I do. But honestly, the only things that he can use are the Arya subset, which he probably wouldn't, the Daemon subset, which got a buff, so maybe he would, and Valiance, and I'm pretty sure, and Iron Kappas, but you can't use them well. I mean, I'll give them to him in case he decides to. Well, he used them to pretty good effect last time, actually. It wasn't bad last time. Daemons in case he changes his mind, and that's about it. Yeah? Valiance. He's not gonna play Swamp Dwellers, but I'm gonna give them to him anyway. Okay, now, what I will do is spawn for myself. You're in Discord vibes. Do you not want to play the best Wandering deck? What's the best Wandering deck? Play the best Wandering. Oh, you mean the one that you used last time? The one that you used last time didn't let you use Ryu. You couldn't use Ryu, bro. Whoa, Zane, off to dinner. If you still want to talk about this, I'll be back in about an hour. Storm, that's a massive shout. Zane, bro, thank you so much for the donor towards the game, man. Dude, it's honestly, If I didn't believe in it, I don't know where we'd be. The game has been going great. It's gonna keep on going great. Goodness. Hold up, man. My phone stopped working. Of all times, really? Do my face. Dude, that is extremely meaningful. It's gonna be extremely helpful towards just everything that we've got going on. So thank you very, very much, bro. Honestly, I don't even know what to say with that. Bro, thank you for the support. It goes miles, leaps and bounds and leaps. Thank you, bro. But yeah, that is, so let's go through the, you're in the Discord. Let me hop in. Right, so yeah, what I was saying. So Neil, what I meant when I said, yeah, I'm about to talk to you. Neil, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, there you are. Right?
Yeah, I'm just logging in.
Okay, vibes. Yeah, feel free to hop in. What I meant when I said it didn't work well was that with the synergy ratings, you couldn't use reuse abilities. In the last duel, you didn't need to, but in a situation where you did, that's what I meant when I said it didn't sync up perfectly.
No, I was just saying because like you're kind of insulting me. Like, what the heck?
No. I didn't mean
hey,
you. I didn't mean you. I meant like Ryu couldn't use the deck well. Is that? Yo, Zane, bro, thank you so much for that dono, man. That's massively appreciated. Honestly.
One issue.
What's the issue?
That was the maximum amount YouTube want to let me do more.
Oh my god.
I mean, I thought he said to use the link in the description, right? It's an because did you do on Streamlabs or?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me.
Wasn't that? Because I think that was through YouTube itself, was it not?
Was it?
Doesn't YouTube like take a cut? Like if you do.
It was. It's fine. It's fine. Well, that it's still massively helpful regardless. But yeah, so the best thing to use is the one in the description, the text to speech one, with Streamlabs, because it sends it straight to the Nexus, the PayPal that's being used for Nexus. I still need to get that sorted out.
Oh, I misunderstood you.
No, it's all good. Thank you, bro. Honestly, bro, I didn't see that coming.
I guess YouTube saved you, kind of then.
Right? Yeah, the YouTube.
Why YouTube saves me? What do you mean?
Right? No, I think he means because they put a limit on it. Because YouTube puts a limit on what they let you do at once. Because YouTube with the one with the link, YouTube doesn't get to take a cut, but with the one through YouTube takes a cut before it actually gets to go into the project.
Can I take back the YouTube one?
Go for it. I have no idea. I've never tried, so I don't actually know. But right, so Wyvern lore sent. Hey, we've got lore. Okay, we'll look at that after. Now let me think. I need to make a plan. Forest Guard doesn't go with anything.
Or not really.
They
go with runes.
Yeah, they've got
that's
synergy,
what they go with.
They've got synergy rating 8. The only thing that they can go with is the Daemon subset anyway, or the generics. I'll take a look as I deck build now to see, but I'm pretty sure that is that it's gonna have to just be pure Forest Guard, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean now there's more like usable runes nowadays.
Right, exactly. They're gonna have lots of different things that they can do.
There's like Samo Guard, like what's it called? Like the underdog thing.
Underdog? What's underdog? I don't remember.
Isn't it the one that like swaps like if you have low attack and like whoever has the lowest attack attacks first or something?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't personally think I would use that, but still fair.
I guess that could be useful with like, I don't know, Copper Banyan, because he's a baby. Like in his swap attack and defense, I guess.
But he wouldn't be attacking. Right? Wouldn't that only work if... Yeah, with the underdog thing, it makes it so that the weak... Oh, wait, I see, I think I get what you mean. Okay, I can see a situation where that could kind of work. Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically runes, a situation where they kind of work.
Right? Okay, so my opening, I remember my opening play involves Selenis, most likely Entity, and What if I switch up the opening play for this deck and go Selenis, Entity, Dryad to get the runes back? That could be vibes.
I mean, yeah, they are different from when the opening play was conceived. So
yeah, I think that could be vibes. If I go with 2 Daemon avatars, I could get some pretty bulky offense going. But is that offense worth it is the question. Right? Because, like, once they've got their runes sorted, if they have Entity on the field... No, you want Minos. You want Minos. So maybe we save Entity for later?
Yeah, I'll say Entity's too...
Yeah, he's more of a hard
useful hitter. to be used, like, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, if he dies, you're cooked, basically.
I mean, not necessarily, I would say. Because they've still got Entity boosts high consistently, but Minos is still a decent hitter, I would say. It's just not what he mainly is for.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like,
Right? There you go.
we're trying to make it so they're not, like, instantly cooked. So, yeah, it's not going to
Hey,
be like
yo!
an instant.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Zane! Yo!
It works.
Yo! Yes, it worked! Bro! 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 Bro, you lunatic! Bro! You absolute madman! Bro! Over $1,000 for the game! Bro, I'm so, you don't even know what that does! I'm so excited! Oh, I almost want to end the stream so I can start allocating resources. Oh my goodness! Bro, thank you! That you don't know, like, you don't even know. Because I've been, like, counting, like, okay, I have enough to get, like, this, but I'll have to figure out this, I have to do... Bro! Bro, you are heaven sent. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I've been waiting for like 4 months for a big payment.
Bro.
Part of my father's property, and I decided to donate this much towards our project. Like a few months ago. I just got it today.
I love you, man. Oh goodness, bro, oof, Zane, that is so much development you just did there. You don't need, like, the relief that brings to the weight on my shoulders. Cause like the next month I wanted to do a massive order with the artist, with Lumiere, for, I think it's over 150 cards, right? Like all of the cards for the next 2 years. I wanted to do that. That's gonna cost somewhere in the range of like 18,000. I was like, bro, that's my entire salary for the month. That would halt all the rest of the development. Now we can do it without stopping the rest of the development. The way you came through. Oh, thank you.
Isn't it 1800?
Sorry?
But you said
I was saying 18,000.
No, 1800. God, oh, we're not up there yet. 1800, right? I keep all my planned expenses, like the most immediate things on the dock where I plan everything. So you can see it here. This is the next big order that I'm doing with him. Then there's all this animation, which hasn't been priced out yet. Accounting, which is going to be like 300, and then legal, which could be anywhere up to like a big amount, but that's for 2 months from now, not this month, so that's for a different paycheck anyways. That's covered. This is what I didn't know how I was gonna get done, but you just straight up did it. Thank you, bro. God damn, Zane. Absolute
Zane, you're on
legend.
your day off, right?
Damn,
What's new?
bro.
You're on day off.
Literally.
Yeah, I can do Tuesdays.
Whew.
I mean, so if you want, you can like hop on. Like, I'm pretty sure you know Forest Guards.
Nah, you're good.
Okay.
Vibing.
Can I have a promotion? I
right.
just...
Yeah, you've been working hard. Yeah, here you go.
Thank you, sir.
That
Thank you,
joke.
sir.
Oh, I almost kicked you.
What the heck?
I'm sorry.
That's what happens when you ask for promotion.
Damn, it's
You
like
get
that.
kicked, right? You're not allowed to end the stream until after you've read the Wyvern lore. You know what? I'm here for it. I back that idea. See, so I buffed. You know how daemons used to be 200 each, so you could get a daemon avatar to 400 each turn, and we nerfed that. It dawns on me now with how much the game has developed that is nothing. Like, so I put them back where they were. Yes, they can get, it's an easy 400, but it takes 2 of your summons per turn, and if one of them dies, that's it. You're done. You can't do it anymore. So I figured, you know, it's not the end of the world if they have that power still. And so yeah. That is, although, actually, maybe this isn't a bad idea. Huh. You know what could be cool? I always combine the, so whenever, you know, with daemons, there's 2 attackers and 2 defenders. I always combine the attackers with the attackers and the defenders with the defenders. So that way I can get up to 400 attack or 400 defense. But what if I just combined an attacker with a defender? And it's like, hey, here's a consistent 200 attack, here's a consistent 200 defense once per turn. Now, yes, if one of them dies, the other one automatically becomes useless, but that's actually sort of a vibe.
I mean, it would be true either way, so.
I mean, yes,
2 attackers, 2 attackers, or 2 defenders, 2 defenders.
No, so if I go 2 attackers, that's it. If I go 2 defenders, that's it. If I go 1 attacker, 1 defender, the max, because each card says boost me by 200 or boost my friend by 200, but those 2 only do attack and those 2 only do defense. But if I choose 1 of each and it's like, hey, boost me by 200, instead of getting the high 400, it's just, hey, a consistent 200 attack or defense, like just chilling. That seems like actually like a better way to play them.
Does the effect persist after 1 card leaves the field until the end of the turn?
Sorry?
Is the effect continuous like the floating effect, or is it until the end of turn effect?
It's until the end of the turn, so they would have to do it every single turn in order to get.
Technically, you can play attacker in counter, defender in defense, boost themselves, and if something you can put another attacker really fast couple of them.
I mean, you could, that is true, but if your opponent manages to get rid of even one of them, the other one just becomes a 0 attack nothing. Because it's they can only do it if you control one of their friends effectively.
Yeah. But you do this, then if they go aggro and they go through your counter, you have 200 defense still until the end of the turn, right?
True, actually, yes.
And if they just go 1 attacker and deal with your counter, on the next turn you can play another attacker or another defender from your hand.
But then that's taking up spacing. Well.
That takes space
Yeah.
from your hand. Yeah, or you might get lucky and draw into it. Like, there are options.
I see what you mean.
I think that's just solid start.
Yeah.
Like 400 wall. That's a pretty. What archetype can go?
I
If
mean,
you go
so
Miagra and Wukong, that's even stronger.
Yeah, if you go
defense.
Miagra plus Wukong, you can do that. I don't know. I get what you mean, where it's like 200 back to back. I just, with them being at 300, because we nerfed them.
I don't think it's broken.
Okay.
I just was selling you a 10.
Okay, fair.
A plan,
Right?
a game plan.
what I would
here
say
for
is
it.
that attack is just more versatile in general. Because you can put, if you have 2 attackers, you can put like a 400 attacker in the counter zone, and you could hide the Damien in the defense. And so that, like, in itself, like, protects them more. Because it's like a bigger body.
I mean, fair.
And if the situation comes where you draw them too late, or like you need more offensive, by the time you get to play the Damians, now you have 400 attack. So I feel like it's a good idea in concept to have like more balanced stats, but attack is just more versatile.
But then,
So just having 400
But then
in
the
the counter or
balancing-
400 in assault.
the balancing mechanic when it comes to the assault, though, is that assume that you put 2 attackers in the assault. One of them is at 400, one of them is at 0. On turn 1, fine, you have a 400 attacker, you swing, cool. Turn 2, you have a 400 attacker, but now that 0 attack card has to swing, right? So it's
I mean,
not...
of course, you would never put the attacker in the
But you can put
assault zone.
You can put
always
one
put
attacker
the-
in the defense zone and buff the attacker every turn.
Yeah, so you put one of the attackers in the defense.
But if the attacker's in the
And-
defense zone, they all have 0 defense, right? So that means your
Yeah.
opponent still gets to kill one of them. So I think I agree
Maybe.
with what Zayn had
If
mentioned.
they go for counter.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You put 400 attack. You put one attack in the counter zone, one attack in.
I was. That's why I got confused, because I was talking about the assault zone, and then you said put an attacker in the defense zone, and there's only 2 attackers, so I got confused. I see what you mean now. I see
Yeah,
what
so
you mean.
or one attacker is always gonna be in the defense zone because that's like the only place it gets like any value.
It's always going to
'Cause
be
you-
in your
'cause-
opponent's defense zone.
No.
What do you mean?
Your defense zone.
An attack. Wait,
I
why would I have an attacker, one of my attackers in my
Because
defense zone?
this guy is buffing other guys, not himself.
No, but
He's
he
always
Yeah.
zero,
but he
zero.
can buff himself. Like, for example, instead of going 0-400, I can go 200-200.
Yeah, but you can't buff yourself if you have nothing else on the field. So
Well,
you will
that's true.
always have a target for your buff a friend for 200.
But if I put it in the defense zone, doesn't that make it even more vulnerable, because my opponent can just target it and destroy it whenever they want to?
Huh?
I mean, if you want
They
to
need to
protect
go for
it,
counter.
yeah.
No?
So if
But,
you
I
want to
mean-
protect it, you put it in counter. If you don't want to protect it, you can put both of them in the assault. So having the attackers is more versatile.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, again, like Zayn
I
said,
mean,
I think,
yeah.
I get what
the,
you mean.
The
I don't think-
defender
yeah.
doesn't work outside of the defense.
right? I'm gonna give them a shot, because it's just shocking to me that no one has ever tried to play them, right? No one rates these guys. I want to give them their time to shine for a minute. So I'm gonna play North
I
and
mean,
West.
so we're mostly playing what you're asking us to play.
You make a very good point. You make a very good point. I usually choose the decks that get played, but still, no one even asked, and I feel like that says something. I feel like that says something.
I mean, yeah, it does say something.
I would say this. I've seen. There's a lot of good options. That's why I haven't have not come to that option yet.
Fair, right? There's a lot to choose from. Lots of nice things out here in the world. You just can't necessarily pick. Now, I've realized that I've made this deck too full, because I have to play. You can't play this deck without playing Rune Collector. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So I need my
So
Rune
that's
Collector.
why no one plays them.
I need my Forest Guard startup. I feel like I'll want the card that resummons Selenis, but I'm going to play without it. Because it has to destroy a Forest Guard card to resummon him. I don't feel like it's very good. I'll take Woodland. I'll take Wall, because Wall's very important. Do I even need Hibernation? I guess that could be cool for some counterplay, right? Hey, so I think a cool idea for Wandering support, or even build a whole subset based on this mechanic, or I can. A low-cost card with a lot of attack and 0 defense, but the effect can only be played in the defense zone during the declaration phase. You have... You know the funniest thing? That's the kind of thing that I'm down for, right? So I'm introducing more cards with passive effects. Hadrian used to have a passive effect that said you could only play him in the assault zone or the counter zone, to balance the fact that he can't be destroyed by gladiators, and you could just make an invincible wall. But I ended up deciding to give him... I introduced a status effect called Cursed, where if a card gets cursed, it's sent to the graveyard at the end of the next turn, so he only gets 2 turns of invincibility. As a workaround for that. So I ended up scrapping the mechanic of, his passive only lets him be summoned in a specific place because let players choose where they put things. But I don't think I'm inherently against the idea of limiting where certain cards can get played. So that's vibe still, right? And we're still just always looking for like new decks and new ideas, because now that everything is in the 2D space, anything is possible. I'm gonna get so many cards done Bro, Zane,
Ooh,
I'm
that's
gonna
kinda
get so many
nice.
cards done. I'm excited. Oh man. You just went and made my day, bro. Thank you. Now, let me think. Is 200-200 nicer, or I feel like 200-200 is nicer than anything forest guards themselves bring to the table. Is it? No, I'm downplaying these guys too much, aren't I?
So wait, when it says conditional, it counts as your activation for turn, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Right? Getting 200 defense every single turn could be game changing, as long as you are not able to kill one of my boys. But you're probably gonna kill one of my boys. It's Wandering. You're playing a Wandering deck. You got so many attackers. There's no way you don't kill one of them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh, but I really want to, though. Oh, but it's not worth it. But I want to. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. Okay, no, I'm not gonna play the Daemons. As much as I want to, there's just too much risk involved. Like, what if you just twertion past the first one and kill the second one? What do I do then? What do I do? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I just realized it's a terrible idea. At least in this matchup. Damn it, I was so excited.
2 seconds ago. No one plays the debut. But I'm not playing him either.
It's just such a big risk. Because, like, again, 200 defense every single turn would be busted in most situations. Like, if a consistent, like, if a subset specific card had that, where it's just like every single turn, 200, 200, 200. But these guys' specific caveat, and I guess I'm proud of myself because that was one of the first decks I ever created. And it so hard balances itself by the need for there to be 2 of them. That it's just not worth the risk. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'll go with Entity because he's safer, I think. And who else? Who goes in opening? I don't feel like Goblin Forge goes in opening. He's like a backup Selenis, and I've got Selenis guaranteed for 2 turns with the standard opening play. So maybe we Kalpa Banyan. But Kalpa Banyan doesn't do anything to Ryu. It barely does anything to Wukong, and Torsion just jumps over him. So Kalpa Banyan isn't actually useful against your deck. I feel like knowing what our opponents are playing is making it harder to make decisions, because I know exactly what you can do. And I want this to be a timed duel, so it's like, it's going to be even more intense.
I mean, to be fair, it's going to be easier, because, like, we know what we can do, so you less reading, like, stuff like that.
I mean, true. But at the same time, it's just like the amount of... So in the actual game, less reading, but in terms of like making a deck, because I'm not just building a general deck for like, okay, I'm just going to play this on the ladder. I'm thinking specifically, is this doing enough to counter you? Discard a card, return... No!
Yeah, but like deck
Ew.
building isn't going to be part of the game. Like, you have technically infinite time to deck build.
That's fair. I don't think this deck does... I don't think this deck uses card exchange very well. Don't feel like we need...
Nah,
this.
it definitely doesn't.
Underdog's interesting, but I don't think I need it. Close Quarters. Close Quarters is going to be good someday, but not today. It's not good. It's not good yet.
Oh, I guess I just deleted all of the ID cards, but I guess it's fine.
How?
I was like-
How did you do that? How did you do that? What?
Because I was clearing, I was
What?
making space, and I'm like, oh yeah,
I don't need those.
How did you get it so wrong?
I was making space. Like,
Okay. Which,
I was taking a bit too much space.
is it
and I
for
was
the
like,
forest? Is it for
oh,
the wandering
I probably need
subset?
Yeah, I was like, why is there so
Okay.
many cards? I
just
don't
have
need
to
them.
spawn you the
And I'm
whole
like,
deck.
oh, yeah.
'cause I don't know how you managed to do that. Smoke. Ooh, you know what's crazy? Smoke Grenade
Oh yeah,
could
Ifrit is bad now.
Wait. Hold on. Because Smoke Grenade plus the Daemon cards, where if my opponent tries to target the one in the defense zone, I switch the target to something else. Hey, hold on. Wait a second. That could be some heat. Also, the wording on Smoke Grenade needs to be updated.
A lot of wording. Yeah, updated.
There's actually not as many cards that need to have their like right now. The only cards that are out of date are Hadrian, Dario, Sickle, Death Embrace, and wait, why is Kappa Banyan here? Oh no, their synergy ratings were updated, not their text. Okay, yeah. The devs were I sent a new wave of cards for them to put the data in for today, so I checked a bunch of different things and tweaked a few things here and there. What's the name of what I just said? Smoke Grenade, right? Because instead of saying, hey, if you're attacked by a card, choose another card in the same zone, the attack now targets the chosen card, I realized that there were enough effects like that I might as well just make it a status effect. So now there's a priority status effect where you can inflict a card on the field with priority. If a defending card has priority, that means your opponent has to attack that card first. If an attacking card has priority, that means that attacking card has to declare an attack first. And that just simplifies it. So that's why this needs to be updated, because it's just too wordy. So it's just going to be like, when your opponent targets a card you control for an attack, choose another card you control, give it priority. End. Right? So that could be clean. And I feel like priority is going to be a fun one to play around with, like maybe force your opponent to attack with weaker monsters. I haven't thought of any cards that use it offensively yet. Smoke Grenade is the only defensive one. But yeah, at least in the current build. For later, there's cards that have been introduced. That's why I decided to make it a status effect. I'm going to play Pure Forest Guard, bro. I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm playing it pure. I'm still missing a card, though. I don't want to Assault Thief with this deck. I can't afford it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that deck just can't afford. Card exchange, Assault Thief.
I guess we'll go with this, because like I don't really have anything else. So yeah. Shuffle. All right, I am ready when you are. So we're gonna use the actual timer that I put the timer in when I first set up this thing in TTS, but we never use it because we're always talking so much.
Yeah, I think I got the source.
Okay. Oh, you think you got this? All right, cool. Put it together. That's all good. Right? Because with the wording, you could just use Ryu, for example, to move said card to a different zone. Just opens up more combo potential. So a card with decent... No, you couldn't use Ryu for that. Ryu has been nerfed. Ryu has been nerfed a lot. Ryu can no longer move cards outside of his own subset. He can only switch places with other cards. Other wandering cards. The mirror match for that deck is gonna go crazy. But yeah, he can only switch places with other wandering cards now. So that wouldn't work per se. That timer is scary. It is. I don't even know if it's enough time. So the real test, I'll be honest, for today's game, the real test isn't even like, okay, is the game balanced? Are these cards good? The real test is, with the ideas that I have in mind for how turn structure is going to work, do players actually have enough time to assess the state of the board and make decisions? Or on the flip side of that, do they have too much time? Right? So I'm going to time the
if I learn anything from Yu-Gi-Oh! There's never enough time.
Well,
especially if you don't know the game.
Well,
Yeah,
right? Like,
I mean,
again, oh yeah?
there are two ways of doing a timer. You can have a timer for your move, for a response, or a timer for the whole match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, at the start of each turn, players get 45 seconds for the preparation phase. So both players have 45. Then once the wave actually starts, I'm gonna do it that each player has a 1-minute timer. We're like, okay, if you have turn priority, there's a 1-minute timer for you to make your decisions. If your opponent has turn priority, there's a 1-minute timer for them to make their decisions. And the time, like chess, right? Every time you pass it back and forth, the other person's timer starts. So the maximum a turn should be able to take is 2 minutes. So in the worst case scenario, a game should take a maximum of like 15 minutes, I hope, but I'm hoping that it's faster than that. I want to try and get games well, I say want to try. The game that we have is the game that we have. If it takes 10 to 15 minutes to play a contest, then that's how long it takes, right? Because at first I was hoping, like, at least at the outset, I was hoping to have a game where it's like, okay, 6 to 10 minutes per game, just so you can get through them relatively quickly. But that's not the case. Have you already started, bro?
Yeah.
The time we haven't done the timer preparation phase. Nothing. You're a cheater. You're a cheater. Okay, fine. I guess.
I
guess we're
forgot
starting.
the preparation phase was incorporated.
Yes,
into
it's
the timer.
incorporated into the timer. Okay, ready, set, go.
I just
Okay.
We should just put all the whole time.
No. Okay. Definitely gonna
could you
use this.
spawn? Wait.
What did you delete? What did you delete? Oh my days! Why are you like this? I just want us to have one nice thing. What did you delete?
Yeah, so I picked up my deck. I tried to add it back to my
days.
hand.
I'm stopping
and
the
it
timer.
fell off the edge.
I'm stopping the timer. Okay. Here are your cards. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Okay, there is.
We're starting the timer
It's
from
fine.
the beginning.
It fell off the edge.
Okay, 45 seconds on the
Okay.
clock. Jesus. Okay.
Solux has had a great idea about.
Okay. All right. So because I'm on the timer, I'll look at it in a sec just to make sure I. Maybe I should have thought out the plan before I started the timer, but I feel like that would be cheating in a sense. I'll need you, and I'll need Think Sol. You. Yes, is that the plan? Does that plan make sense? I think it makes sense. How much time do I have? 13 seconds. Okay, so 45 seconds seems, well, I guess if you've built a deck and you're not dumb like me, you'll have had, we only had 3
The
seconds
first
left
few
over.
turns, like, full out, I guess.
That makes sense. Okay, all right, let's keep going. I don't mind that we that cut it very close, but all right, so I'm gonna set a new timer for 2 minutes, because by the time 2 minutes is over, ideally the turn should be out.
Okay.
How do I? Oh, it only lets you do it in seconds. How many?
I
You know,
mean,
let's do
that's
a,
120 seconds.
let's
so.
do a stop. Oh, you are correct. Thank you. I forgot I could do math. I don't know what that was. Anyway, we're starting. Heads or tails?
Heads. It even said, oh,
Okay, cool. You have turn priority. Reveal.
we're playing Boss Guardian.
I play Selenis in the defense zone.
We're playing Migra.
I play Dryad in the Nexus.
And we're playing FIFA phone.
What the hell are you doing? I play Minos in the Assault. Okay, and
One
I have
rune.
3 runes. All right, you have turn priority. Anything to declare?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I activate Selenis' ability, tutelage, which allows me to, do stuff and things when he activates force counters. Any response?
I'll chain card exchange.
Okay, that's cool.
So on the same chain, that's
Yeah,
tutelage,
in
right?
the same chain, that's fine. So that chain can resolve. This isn't going to work because it just being a 2-minute timer, it needs to be when the ball's in my court, I have a minute. When the ball's in your court, you have a minute. Just combining a 2-minute timer for the turn feels like it's too short because we were at like 50 seconds. We were at like 50 seconds left it was like a minute left after the declaration phase ended. Maybe the timer starts after the declaration phase.
I would also say that timers they're like a bit facetious. Like just because it says 2 minutes doesn't mean it's actually like 2 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're like
okay.
time for like when you play stuff down, like the animation and stuff like takes a couple
True.
seconds.
No, you are
And that's
right.
like not incorporated like into the time.
No, I agree with that completely. All right,
Yeah.
in that case, let's use a stopwatch instead, right? I've started a stopwatch. Let's keep going, right? So that chain resolves. You get to draw your card. Go ahead. Why is your resource deck face up?
I mean, it's gonna be shuffled, so it's fine.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's
Because it went off board, and
cool.
you bring it back face up.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to use card exchange. Oh yeah, with the swamp dwellers, card exchange gotta be crazy with them. Alright, cool. I activate the rune Forest Guard startup. Place a forest counter on a card you control. I choose to place a forest counter on Selenis, which will then automatically let Selenis place a forest counter on Dryad. This goes to the graveyard. I follow that up with the activation of Rune Collector, which lets me reveal this card and return it to my hand immediately. And I place another counter on Dryad in the Nexus.
Oh, stop. I didn't even know they locked me.
And that is it.
Ew. Why would anyone play Swamp Dwellers? What the heck?
Listen, it is what it is. All right, so movement phase 1. Anything for you to declare?
I'm gonna go do others.
Okay, bro. Thank you again, bro. Thank you again for the love. We'll catch you later, bro.
Catch you later.
Alright,
And
a
it
little
only
bit.
works it should be battle phase at least.
This isn't a balanced thing. Play your cards. Play your cards. We're on the clock.
Okay.
Movement phase 1.
Movement phase 1.
All right. No battle is taking place. Movement phase 2.
I have to use this in battle phase 1.
What does it say? Fee Fi Fo?
Actually,
What does it say?
yeah.
When battle phase 1 begins, destroy this card and summon another swamp dweller. Okay, yeah, so you would have to use that during battle phase 1.
Bop.
Okay, so you destroy him and summon him. All right.
Do I choose where they go?
Huh, that's a good question. Oh, this wasn't supposed to be a balance testing game. Why have you done this?
All
Because
I'm asking is a simple question. Where does it go?
I guess,
Like,
yes, it realistically should go in the assault zone, but that's not what I initially envisioned with them. Okay, we'll look at that later. We'll look at that later. Are you activating an effect on summon?
Yeah, we'll do Monster Hunt. So
Monster Hunt, which says... Monster Hunt. When this card is summoned by a Swamp Dweller card effect, target a card on the field. That target's attack is halved, and this card gains attack equal to the amount lost. Whose attack are you having? I'm assuming Minos?
the guy with attack, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So Minos is at 75. And you
And
get
I'm,
plus 75.
So I'm a 2.
Okay, that's all good. And then the last...
I'm surprised you didn't
is-
cringe.
Cringe at what?
225.
I didn't hear you properly, and I'm just gonna pretend I still didn't. Now, realistically speaking, at 75 attack, if Minos swings here, he dies. He dies a very brutal death.
Oh yeah, wait. So
Ooh.
I summoned Migra. So yeah, Orion's spell also activate.
Right, so you gain that extra defense. That's all good. And realistically speaking, I think I've screwed myself. Yeah, I think that's it.
Migra has
Okay, so
50,
how Selenis reads is
300.
at the end of the wave,
Yes.
remove all your forest counters or destroy this card. So, turn would end, you would be up here. I'm choosing not to swing. I have 1, 2, 3 forest counters in play. Selenis would attempt to destroy himself, but I activate Forest Wall to send this rune to the graveyard, remove this counter, and he is no longer destroyed. Then I follow that up with the activation of Dryad, which says, for every forest counter on this card, max 3, add a Forest Guard rune from the graveyard to your hand. So I've got 2 counters on him. I get both my runes back. He's destroyed, and that would be the end of my turn. Now, all things considered, to be honest with you, and I'm going to stop the stopwatch there. That took us 4 minutes to get through. If it's a reset timer each turn, what's the current timer? The current timer is sorry, I wasn't looking at the thing at all while I was playing. The current timer is 1 minute per player per turn, but plus preparation phase, so 1 minute 45 per player per turn, not counting animations or the declaration phase or anything like that. Let me see. Just
Yeah.
timer.
So
Okay, I say in game, if possible, have a casual mode with a very generous timer for each phase, and a more competitive mode with a more strict timer to give players a space to safely learn. So I'm gonna write that down actually, because I have made plans for a casual mode, but that wasn't one of the plans, so I'm gonna write that down. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Casual mode needs to have a much less strict timer to give players a space to learn the game. A dynamic timer would be cool too, where each turn the timer gets a bit shorter, adding to the suspense of the game as it goes. That sounds scary. That sounds
Yeah,
scary.
I mean, I guess the game does become simpler as
Exactly,
it goes.
right? I've been listening to the whole time on the way to work, vibe. 1.115 is enough in my opinion. Fair, okay, good, right? So I think we're on the right
I would say
track.
2 minutes because like it took us 4 minutes,
It took
and
us
that
four-
was like speeding through.
But I
So
feel
it was
like
like 2 minutes to 2 minutes 30.
I feel like we did kind of stop at a point to like sort out the effects of like this guy, for example, because there wasn't full clarity, I think. And now that we've paused, I think it should be addressed. I've realized just how flawed the Swamp Dwellers are now, because they lock you out of other effects, and because of the thing of summoning during the battle phase, it doesn't say summon it where this card was. So what this needs to say is summon the card in the place where this card was. So Swamp Dwellers need an update. That's not what this was supposed to be.
And it should have been
Dwellers-
both battle phase. Is it like battle phase 1 or is it? It's battle phase 1, right?
It was, but I think both battle phases would be fine. Summon the card in the position that the original card had on the field, and also let them do it in either battle phase. Do you have somewhere where I could read the archetypes and learn the cards? Technically, no, not yet actually. I'm planning on doing like a devlog series on all of the cards and getting like all the information out there, but right now the only place to read the card info is the game dev chat. I could have you like if you like to read them, that would actually be a vibe. It's always nice having more people who know what's going on, but that would have to come with the volunteer agreement and the NDA, because then you'd have the game dev role. If you're down with that, I want to break the no. You're just like Zane. You're just like Zane trying to break the game. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. But only if you're cool. Actually, no, Nick, have you signed those agreements already? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think it was in the original game dev chat, so I don't think so. But maybe.
So in that case, yeah, that would need to happen. But after that point, yeah, we'd love to have you like playtest and just destroy everything, because then that lets us know what we need to fix. That's what Zane does. All things considered, I almost want to avoid this duel, Neo, and ask you to play with a different deck, specifically because it's become clear that Swamp Dwellers just have a fundamental issue with how they work. Unless we want to play assuming Swamp Dwellers work in the way that they're going to be changed to work, where it's like, okay, they can do it during either battle phase, and it summons the card where it was on the field. It'll be, we'll just have to remember that. Are you down with that?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't do too much. It's just like,
Yeah.
now it moves there.
Right? So then I guess I have to ask the question, would you have attacked?
No reason for not to.
Sorry?
You have 0. There's no reason for me not to. You have 0 defense and
Okay,
attack.
that makes sense. So then the only thing that would change this turn is, even if I blocked with the rune, I would have to remove a counter. Hold on, sorry. Think so. So you would attack into me. I have a force counter equipped. I could remove the counter to prevent myself from being destroyed, activate another rune, generate a new counter with Selenis, and put it here, I guess, since he's about to die. He would live that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, oh, god damn, this is hard. Okay, so no, this does change a few things, because with that rune's activation, I generated 2 counters before, and I placed one with startup. This lets me generate a 3rd counter. If I place the 3rd counter here, where Banyan was, Selenis is still on the field. Banyan can activate his effect, being the only card on the field that has counters, destroy himself, get me my runes back, and that means Selenis doesn't have to die. I just don't have any counters left. That's how the turn would resolve. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we fixed it. Excellent. Oh boy. I'm down. Okay, perfect. I will send you an NDA after we finish this duel. Actually, no, it'll probably be after the stream because I need to do some stuff off stream that shouldn't be visible to the. Yeah, but you signed something for the webtoon. Yeah, that was. So that's what it was. That's probably what I was thinking of. The webtoon, the Heart of the Cards is basically a separate entity now because it's changed so much. So yeah, and Stormraven is back. You love to see it, bro. We're going through trying to do a duel in real time. It's not going great. It's not going horribly. So let's try. I don't know. Let's just keep going and try and see. And then Storm.
Oh yeah, we didn't do life, did we? Or did you?
I didn't do life either. I think again, when the game is doing all this stuff for you under a timer, it'll be much easier. But remembering to do all this stuff by yourself is a lot harder. I paid 50, 50, 100, 200 total. I'm at 1,000 life. How about you?
Yeah, I paid 200.
Okay. Excuse me, so did you just call it a duel? Shut up. It's a contest. Yes, it's a contest. It's a contest. All right, so that means we're tied for life. You had turn priority last turn. That means I have turn priority this turn. Let's start a new timer for this turn. And let's just see how long it takes us. Oh yeah, and draw for turn. I'm not gonna lie, having all of these cards at my disposal still is really nice. Oh, this draw is ugly. No. I don't want you. No. No. Okay. All right. I guess I can do something with this. 1, 2, 3. I can go. Nope, that's a bad strategy. Obviously, yes. That's a bad idea. That could work. And this could work. Okay, cool. I've got my strategy for turn. We're at 44 seconds. And this is about where the preparation phase would end. The only thing slowing us down is the fact that we have to drop the cards ourselves. So again, still not bad. Still not bad, right? This is a contest? Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So I choose for you to reveal first. Please go ahead. That is a rune. Okay. Wait, you're only summoning one card? Hey!
Yeah.
What's this confidence, my guy? What's all this confidence? I reveal... I mean,
I guess that hasn't happened in a while, so...
Goblin Forge of the Forest Guard in the counter zone, because I wouldn't know that you only had one card. I reveal Entity in the Assault Zone, and I reveal Centaur Sage in the Defense Zone with 3 runes set. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That turn cost me 100, 200, 300 life points that turn. Jeez, okay.
Mine cost me 50.
Of course. All right, then. Okay, so with that being said and done, wave start, you have priority. Is there any effects that you'd like to activate?
Gucci.
All right, I activate Tutelage on Selenis, allowing me to generate my forest counters for the turn. Any response?
Yeah, I'm just reading something.
Alright, if you say so.
Oh, wait.
Ooh, I'm gonna be reckless. Am I stupid? Or am I a genius?
Yes, fine.
Okay, alright. In that case, I'm gonna let that chain resolve, and then... Oh, I wish well, I guess I have time. I shouldn't rush, because we're seeing how long it takes. But, what does your first ability do? Okay, that could be really, really good. 50, 50, 50, 50. That's 200, yeah? 50, 50, 50, 50 is 200. 250 plus that wouldn't be enough. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to do that. I activate Danger Beast, which increases my attack by 50 for every rune on the field. That is a snapshot.
Yeah. Yeah, I train Spear.
Okay, target one avatar you control. The first card at battles becomes sealed until the end of the turn. That is fine. Who are you targeting?
We'll target Boss Guardian.
Alright, Boss Guardian gets targeted with that. That's absolutely fine. This goes to Grave, and so that means I go up by 50, 100, 150, putting Entity at 300 attack. Entity plus 150. I follow that up with the activation of, not this, I activate Forest Guard Startup. I place a rune on who? Who do I place this rune on? This only says from a card you control. This says a card you control. This says a card you control. So in that case, who's the safest? I guess I'm going to place my counters on Entity for the time being. So I place a counter on Entity. This goes to the graveyard, but then Selenis also places a counter, allowing another counter to be on Entity. I then activate Rune Collector, returning this card to my hand, placing one more counter on this guy. Actually, no, that's stupid. I place the counter on him, and then am I insane? Am I stupid? Hold on, does this work? Remove a No, that's not worth it. That's not even close to being worth it. But you know what? Nope, that's not worth it either. Okay, cool. Never mind. All right.
Movement. 35 minutes.
Yeah, movement phase 1. This moves up. You don't have anything that's moving. You are forced to declare an attack. Which card do you choose to attack into?
Centaur Sage doesn't have any tokens, so you can't protect him.
That is true.
What does he do? During the wave, discard games, 50 attack for each forest counters, remove forest counter from a card control, activate a rune from your hand.
Right?
Yeah. We'll attack this bozo.
You're attacking Kim. How much attack do you have right now?
2T5.
Okay, cool. Awesome. In that case, I activate Center Stage. During this wave, this card gains an additional 50 defense for every forest counter currently on the field. With 3 forest counters on the field, it gains 150 defense, meaning that it has...
Where's the other one?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, does Selenis have 2?
No, Selenis has 1. Entity has 2.
Oh, there was one underneath him, that's why.
My bad. Right?
Oh, so you used startup to get the other one.
Yes, I did.
Hey.
So, with that boost in mind, Selenis at 300, your boy crashes in, dies, leaving Selenis at... You were at 225. Not Selenis, leaving Centaur Sage at 300 minus 225. Doesn't matter because at the end of the turn he's going to 0, so I'm not even going to bother calculating it. Now,
if I knew you had 3.
Yeah. Now I'm also forced to attack. I'm going to activate Forest Guardian, which boosts Minos' attack for every forest counter, same as. Putting him at a healthy 150 plus 75 equals 225. Is that math? Is that mathing? Why have you introduced 25s into this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 225. So 350 minus 225, what is that? 75 plus 50, that's 125. Yes? Okay, so in that case, I crash into Mrigra, destroying myself, leaving you with 120, 170. Oh, I just did it. 125. Movement phase 2 happens. Entity at 300 attacks into Mrigra at 125, destroying it. 300 minus 125 is 175. Boss Guardian is at 150. I swing again with Boy, destroying this, leaving me at 25 attack. I am now sealed, so I can't activate effects, but I've already activated my effect for the turn, so that doesn't matter.
I drew a card because of Boss Guardian.
Of course. So you get your card draw going. And that would be the end of the turn. Entity's effect, which was already activated, returns him to 150 at the end of the turn. Since it had already resolved, that wouldn't be any different. So Entity is at 150. And honestly, that was a pretty solid turn. I kind of wished that had got... Oh, wait, no, this is great. So because of how that turn went, the turn ends, Silenus tries to blow himself up. I remove this counter from Silenus so that he isn't destroyed using the effect of Forest Wall. And that's me done for the turn. Oh, and this guy never moved up. Here we go. I'm in a pretty good spot. Hey, I'm kind of cooking. Now, again, that turn took so long. That was a 9-minute turn.
Yeah.
Was there anything in that turn that felt like we were going slower than we ordinarily would? I don't feel like we stopped to check card balance or anything.
No, it's just there was a lot of cards happening on your end, so I guess that's
That makes
something.
sense. I think,
But it felt necessary.
exactly. It felt like everything we did was necessary. I think in the game,
I feel like
there's gonna
we're
be
trying
like
to make Snap while we have Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I
I
think
disagree. I feel like we've got something in the middle because we've got a 6-turn limit. We've got less cards in play than usual and less effects going around. So it's never going to be as short as Snap, but it shouldn't be as long as Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like a Yu-Gi-Oh game can take 20 minutes to like 30 depending. My aim is to a Snap game shouldn't take anything more than like, I mean, I get some Snap games done in like 2 to 4 minutes, right? I'm aiming, my ideal range would be like that 10-minute mark. So somewhere in the middle is where I feel like this game belongs. But that being said, only so much can be done. I do feel like rule checking is
I
something
feel
that
like
takes time
we're
away
gonna
from
reach like a
licensing. Fair.
20-minute game, to be honest.
I mean, that is fair, right? That is fair. I am a little bit disappointed because I was hoping it would go faster, and there's things that you won't have to do in the actual game. Like, for example, players won't lose time when the coin gets flipped, and players won't lose time when like the ordering of activation is done, like his chains are resolving and whatnot. But it is taking longer to get through than I was hoping. Let's go for a turn 3, right? Because that was 2, so let's go for 3. And reset. Okay. Draw for turn. You haven't actually summoned any of your offensive cards yet, which is concerning to say the least. Now, oh, this is interesting actually. I've never thought to use it this way. Ooh, yeah, this could be crazy. No, but it won't work alongside that. Okay, never mind. It's not as crazy as I thought. 1, 2. Yeah, that could be a shout. That could be a shout. Do you need a... You do? Oh, no, you suck. Okay, alright, that's fine. Yeah, I've got my cards for turn. I'm ready to go when you are. So again, I feel like I'm running out of steam relatively quickly. And had you not been playing Swamp Dwellers, I feel like you would have a lot more going on than you do right now.
I mean, yeah, I didn't know you had like free counters, so I could have like done some stuff, and then you just had a counter up your sleeve, like
yeah.
hid it under the card, like
true. Actually, just
like,
having a counter is what actually saved. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I was about to say it feels a bit iffy, but no, this is good. This is good. All right, so I'm at 700 life. How much are you at?
You didn't attack me, so I'm still at 900.
All right, so I've got turn priority still. Nice. I reveal. Well, no, you reveal first. I get to decide.
Okay. We'll summon Dirag.
Oh, but I don't like you. Okay. I summon Kalpa Banyan in the assault zone, which I hope I don't come to regret.
Wait, do you reset your attack, right?
Yeah, he's at 150 right now.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Worsen.
There he is. I was wondering when he was finally going to show up. I've got 2 runes.
I have Wukong
Of course.
and Arena.
All right, so turn start. You've got priority. Anything to declare?
Monkey King.
All right, bet your attack. The attack of both of these cards gets boosted by 50, as one does. I respond by activating the effect of tutelage, allowing me to generate forest counters. Any response?
You're good.
Okay, I follow that up with the activation of Danger Beast to boost my attack by 50 for every rune currently on the field. Any response?
Let me just read the local shopping. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So we'll chain Phoenix,
Okay.
targeting Wukong.
As one does.
Chain Wandering Anim. A Wandering card was tributed
Okay.
and sent to the graveyard.
Huh. Okay, that does work. That does work. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. We're
Okay.
Gucci.
All right, cool. Chain resolves backward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is everything for that chain, I think. Okay, cool. So next chain, I activate Rune Collector, return this card to my hand. Selenis generates a token, but now you've got me scared is the problem. I'm gonna put this over here. Actually, no, I'm not scared of you. I'm no coward. I'm gonna put this over here. Actually, no, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna put this over here. Okay. Okay.
So we are scared.
No. You'll see. I'm cooking. Let me cook. Okay.
Okay.
And that is everything I've got. So I'm ready for movement phase. Also, I'm stupid. Can I? No, I'm not gonna cheat. But I never activated Homie's effect last turn to generate a counter. I will activate it this turn though to generate a counter. And
so how does Leap work? Because it doesn't have like an activation period. It just says if this card is summoned, it can bypass.
So it's an activated effect. So you would activate it, and when you get there, you would bypass. So you can activate it anytime before you get there, basically. So anytime before the end of movement phase 1, you can activate that.
Oh, so it doesn't activate on summon.
You can activate it on summon if you want to. It's activated.
Yeah. I'll activate it.
Okay, that's fine. So we've got Leap and we've got Monkey King in effect. That's absolutely fine. Oh, you've made me second guess this decision. This extra rune that I'm putting here is based off of this guy, by the way. This extra forest counter's coming from him. It's not just out of thin air, I promise.
Okay.
Now, I'm just trying to think what I want to do. Oh, you got me scared. Okay.
I mean, movement phase 1.
I'm gonna put this over here instead. Yeah, I'm gonna put that counter over there. Okay, yeah, movement phase 1. This moves up.
This leaps.
Absolutely fine. So battle phase 1. I have higher attack. Oh no, you have higher
this
attack.
guy. Woody the rug.
Okay, that's fine. Destroying himself to summon who? Okay, summons the level 3 as you do. What effect are you activating on summon?
Halving your attack.
Okay, that's good. So I'm down to... Oh, okay. Do I need to change this guy's effect to just round up or down? So that means 250 cut in half is 120.
Oh, and now it's at the place it was summoned, right? So
yeah.
How much attack do you have?
I'm at 250 right now.
250.
Right.
So yeah, I won't half your attack. I'll just use his second effect.
Okay.
So
which is...
if this card is summoned from the grave, I get to add one thing to my hand.
Target an avatar in your graveyard and return it to your hand. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That is strong, actually. You know what? I think they're fine the way they are. Yeah, that's a strong effect. It just lets you add a
I'll
card back
add
to
the grave
hand.
too.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So battle phase 1 happens. Are you attacking with Wukong because he's stronger?
Because so it's still in the battle phase, right?
So we've
Actually,
now
no, yeah,
entered.
yeah,
We've
no,
now
no, it's
entered
fine.
the battle phase. Yeah.
It's fine, because it's already used its effect.
Okay. So are you choosing to swing?
Yeah.
Okay. Wukong swings in at. You're at 350. I'm at 150. That brings you down to 200. That's absolutely fine. He comes over here. Well, no, he doesn't. He stays there, but still. I swing into you. You've got 0 defense, so you die. Movement phase 2. These guys now move up. You have the stronger card. Does Tuition choose to declare an attack?
Yeah.
On who? Okay, Tuition attacks into Selenis at 0 defense. He dies. Chain of Momentum carries you into Centaur Sage, who is at... Where did the last set of attacks
150.
leave him? No, because remember, I got my attack.
Oh
reduced.
yeah.
I should have written
I
it
mean,
down.
I guess you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
I think. No, I'm at 0.
should be
I'm
at
at 0.
zero.
I'm at 0.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah, I'm at 0.
Yeah.
So in response, I activate Center Stage, boosting my defense for every counter on the field. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 counters on field currently. That boosts my defense up to 200. Yeah, I'm at 200 defense. You swing in at 250. I get destroyed. You're left with 50. You're left at 200. That is the end. Oh no, that's not the end of the turn. I attack you directly for 150. Yeah, that also needs to happen. So this direct attack goes through at 150. And that, I think, is everything. Yeah, that's everything. Also, life for the turn, I summoned Kalpa Banyan, and I think I just summoned Kalpa Banyan this turn.
I summoned 3 rank 2, so that's 300.
100.
And then
putting me at
150.
600.
So I lost 450 this turn.
I only lost 100. Let's go. Okay, all right.
So I'm at 500.
All right, I'm cooking a little bit less than I was, but I'm still cooking something.
So I draw.
Turn 4, yep, let's draw. Okay, now I'm screwed.
Why?
Ignite reduces reduces Wukong's attack by 50. He's at 150 now. Okay, all right. I guess this and this for turn 4. That's gonna put me at that. All right. I forgot to even do the timer for last turn. I never stopped it. Okay, we'll start a new timer. Right. While you're doing that, I do feel like rule checking is something that takes time away by live testing, but won't really be a thing in the app since rules will be scripted. Exactly, right? It's going to be easier to track rules in the app, but at the same time, the games are longer than I initially anticipated. What's your favorite archetype?
Yeah.
It might be gladiators, to be honest, right now. Minotaurs are probably my favorite archetype right now. Minotaurs are really, really fun. I like Minotaurs. Okay, so you have lower life, so you have turn priority. So you go ahead and reveal.
You can reveal.
Oh, you want me to reveal? Oh, right. Yeah, of course. You get to choose. I reveal Lilith, Maiden of the Forest Guard, in the defense zone.
We'll put Morag.
Why is he still here? And I have 1 rune. Right?
What?
Yeah, that's all I've got, my guy. That's all there is. Wait,
Phoenix Nexus.
How did you get Phoenix back? Oh, right, of course. You used Wandering Anim to put Phoenix back in your hand after he attributed himself. Okay, alright.
And Big Daddy.
Okay. I activate... start of the turn, I activate Danger Beast, boosting my attack by 50 for every rune on the field.
Let me just read this card's activation.
Actually, wait,
thingies.
pause. Wait, hold on. I think I lose.
Yeah, so I can do this now. So you
Um,
activate Chain the Beast.
Yes.
I'll chain Zodiac Barrier.
There's something about this. Oh yeah, that is an activated effect. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So that will go to the graveyard. So I go up by 50. That being said, I don't think it matters. Well, actually, no. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. But realistically speaking, okay, yeah, I guess we see how it goes. That is everything for start of turn. Let us proceed. I mean, I might as well activate this now. It's Rune Collector. I'm just going to add it back to my hand. That doesn't really do anything.
Okay.
And
so movement phase 1?
Yeah, movement phase 1 happens. He moves up. These cards are already in position. I have the strongest card on field. I attack with this guy into...
Wait, battle phase? I'll do Morag.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
How much attack you have? You have...
I have
Melody,
150,
Melody swaps.
150 and 200. Right?
Remove a first card counter from discards of the original attack and defense.
It won't
So I
make
have the
it
same
won't-
original.
Yeah, it won't make a difference in the situation. 'cause
So
it's the same.
I'll half entity
Okay, so
so
entity
entity
goes down to 100.
to 100. And I
Okay.
gain 100. So I'm
You
at
gain
250.
100, you're at 250. This swings in. Yeah, the game's over. There's nothing to do at that point. That is a really strong combination.
You die.
Well, yeah.
And then...
So let's do it quickly. This dies. This would attack, destroy this. This would attack at 50. This attacks at 250. I draw for turn, but there's nothing really in my deck that saves me. If this swings into Ryu, he dies, as in like they both die because 100, 150, 150. So it wouldn't make a difference. There's nothing else in my deck, so that's why I say that the duel's over. That's a GG. I now want to look. So timing-wise, it took a lot longer than I was hoping it to, so that's one thing. But balance-wise...
Look at the stream. What time did we start?
I don't remember, but I know turn 1 was... Because the time we started...
No, I'm just like...
We took pauses in between, so that won't be an accurate representation.
Yeah, I guess. But I'll give like a rough outline.
Will it? Because we stopped for pretty sizable chunks. I don't really think it will.
I guess we'll get a more accurate more down the line. I guess
exactly. We'll keep doing more. Something that surprised me is Swamp Dwellers. Honestly, I'm surprised at how much these guys were able to do. Because
they're saucy. Like when I read them, I was like, they're kind of bad.
I always assumed that their main draw was the ability to negate a card. But this guy coming back consistently was more of a headache than I expected it to be. Where's the last ID card for... Oh, no, not the ID card. The monster card, right? These guys, yeah. Like, the loop...
Kind of cooking.
Yeah, no, they cooked.
Because, like, you never pay for the rank cost.
Exactly.
So, at most, you're playing, like, 150 and you're getting value.
Hold on, one thing though. I'm trying to remember how the contest went because they lock you into Swamp Dweller card effect.
Yeah. I made sure to like do everything.
Good. So no, yeah, as long as you were conscious.
So I took that into consideration.
Right. Okay,
so remember, because that's why like did Wukong. That's what I was trying to figure out, like when I could activate Leap. Because I needed to do everything like
that makes
before
sense.
the battle
I
phase.
appreciate you for tracking that because I wasn't tracking it at all. Also, let me read the chat real quick.
Yeah,
we got very into it.
I initially thought that you being locked was going to be detrimental. Maybe like that wasn't good enough.
It ended up
like, maybe
not
we need to
mattering,
changing
honestly.
it. But
yeah.
now, like
I mean, again, some
it's
decks
definitely
would have a
not
hard
for
time.
every deck.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, for example,
definitely.
gladiators use their effects in the battle phase, so that wouldn't work. But again, another benefit that the Wandering deck seems to have is that they can most of their like battle effects are activated, so they can activate their effects before the battle phase. You can Phoenix before this becomes a factor.
We can duck like entities boosts with, because all our runes like just activate.
Exactly. Also, Gear Tomb, how you doing, bro? We tried to do a quick game just to see how long it would take. Ended up running into a new deck that's not new. I made it. I made the cards, but Neoshock has used them in an unexpected way. Whereas my thought process was balance them around not allowing you to return the rank 2 to the field. The rank 3 actually ended up being much more of a problem because you card exchange that, summon it turn 1, send it to the graveyard, or if it gets into the graveyard, it's the recyclability that this deck has. Like, I never actually dealt with the deck because then you were able to return a card back to your hand and start the chain all over again, right?
One thing that was like looking at is because like one thing that's like something is that you can't use the rank 3, so it's actually like if you have both of them on the board, it actually like it's kind of nasty. It's like you can like use the first one to summon the rank 3.
Yep.
And then if the rank 3 is destroyed,
use the second one to summon the rank 3 again.
And I don't know how this works, but
so
since the rank it's destroyed it summons back,
it wouldn't be able to use a new effect, even though it was destroyed and it's coming back. It still would be once only for that turn, because like the game remembers. Like for example, if you activate an effect in the hand, then come onto the field, you wouldn't be able to activate an effect on the field, right? So much in the same way, going to the graveyard and coming back doesn't reset it. The game remembers. But I see what you mean. The body would still be on the field. And it's a lot stronger than I think I gave it credit for. It reminds me of Wyverns. When I made them, I had recyclability in mind. I mean, the whole point of this deck is that it's supposed to recycle, right? The idea is like, okay, they're swamp dwellers. They want to stay in the swamp. The field is the swamp. So no matter what, they try and return to the field. But with such a low synergy rating, Wyverns are at 5. So Wyverns being so recyclable, I feel like that's fine, but a synergy rating 3 deck being...
The heck, Wyverns aren't really recyclable in my opinion, at least in their current build.
Why?
Because the main recycling card is like, you need specifically the Earth Wyvern, while this card, like, their recyclability literally just involves you summoning the rank 3, which the deck's like built around.
I see what you mean. Like, it's this obviously is more recyclable, but I would say Wyverns still have recyclability. It's just more balanced.
Yeah, because like technically,
it's just
technically we've given every deck recyclability. So so recyclability at this point means like something like more specifically, because general.
I feel like that's arbitrary because I mean, yeah, most decks have a card where it's like, oh yeah, return one card to the hand and they can do that once. Recyclability means being able to do that multiple times, which the Wyverns can do. Right? They can recycle over and over. Like, they can create a loop, whereas every other deck has one return and that's it, right? But this and Wyverns can do it multiple times. If Terra, so they have a card that can act, say that says from the graveyard, if return Terra to the hand, and then it's send something, it's either add something from the graveyard to the hand, being Omnis, or summon something. But again, because Terra's going back to the hand for that to be activated. Wait, no, I'm trying to remember now. That's not how it works.
Yeah, because
no. How it works is, you tribute Terra. Terra goes
to the grave.
No, you're supposed to tribute Terra while Omnis is on the field. My bad. Tribute Terra while Omnis is on the field. Terra doesn't go to grave. Terra returns to hand. That's how Terra ends up in the hand, right? So you tribute Terra with Omnis on the field to add a card from the graveyard back to hand. That then lets you get a card out of the graveyard, right? So since Terra came back to your hand, you summon Terra again next turn. You could do the same thing in theory if you had another card in the graveyard to fish out, right? So that's what makes it recyclable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like.
Right.
Because usually like you're trying to use Omnis other effects, and I guess it makes sense. Yeah, so
it's sort of
I'll take my statement back. Yeah, it is recyclable,
but it's So with that being said, though, this is, in my opinion, even though it's their debut duel, that was more recyclability than I intended. Like, so if you look at Brarog, it says when battle phase 1 begins, destroy this card, summon another Swamp Dweller from the hand or graveyard. The card you summon becomes fortified, which we didn't even factor in. But this, wait, hold on. Yeah, this ability can only be used once per contest. So my thinking was make it so that this card can only summon another card once, because you'd be trying to summon this one as much as possible without factoring in the fact that this guy is actually pretty good. Cutting something's attack in half every time you're summoned and being able to be summoned basically every other turn for free, never paying the cost for that, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong.
Half in your attack and gain is pretty saucy as well.
It is, and I don't feel like I want to nerf that, honestly. I feel the first time it happened, it was like, that's annoying, but also it felt fair. But then it happening again and again, at a point you stop being able to contest with it because there's no cost being paid, right? I think, what do we hit here?
So do you think every like summon back should be like once per duel?
But then that feels like it kills it. Because again, yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is make it so that every FI-FO only works once. Where it's like, okay, you can destroy this card, summon another card, but then at that point, the rank 1 is now completely useless in the duel from that point forward, right? There's no more cycle that happens. If we do it on the rank 2 as well, he can only do it once. Then by the time the rank 3 shows up, he's never going to use his ability, because even if he destroys himself and summons one of the other two, well, they've both already used their effect to destroy themselves, so they can't summon him back. So that just sort of making that change sort of breaks the cycle. So I think them being able to do it isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just let me think.
You wanna add like a Nexus cost, like a 50, half of the
I'm thinking maybe
rank cost.
I think putting a cost on it makes it feel a lot more balanced. Maybe 50 points.
Oh, how about you pay the rank cost of the card that's activating its effect?
Ooh.
So the rank 1 would pay 50, and the rank 2 would pay 100, and the rank 3 would pay.
So that elevates
maybe
the
rank
value
3
of the rank
doesn't
1.
pay.
That elevates the value of the rank 1. The rank 2, sort of in the middle now, that lowers its power in the deck. The rank 3, you would never want to use its loop. Would. But then again, you never really wanted to, because every time the card was summoned, well, actually, no, you did do it once.
No, because
you needed to start the cycle over again.
Yeah, if you destroy the rank 3, you can summon back the rank 1, for example.
And the rank 1 would be fortified. To be honest, we didn't even realize the fortification that card was supposed to have. So the duel didn't even play out the way it was meant to, in all honesty. Right?
Which card gives the fortified?
Did you ever summon a card from the graveyard using the rank 3's ability, FI-FO FUM?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I never used the rank 3. So
okay, never mind.
So I guess it's fine.
Never mind. Feel like this is a good segue to the lore. We can check it out. I just want to make sure that we check the balance of this, because again,
I think the rank 3 doesn't need a Nexus cost, because then it's bringing back a rank 1, but it's fine either way.
True, and I mean, FI-FO is different from FI-FO FUM. So the rank 1 and the rank 2 share an ability, FI-FO, and then the rank 3 has an upgraded ability, FI-FO FUM. It not paying a cost can be part of the upgrade, but if that is the case, it never ended up being relevant. I want to remove the fortification.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right? Okay, so we found a problem. I don't even know if this fixes it per se, because putting a cost on it.
I don't think so.
I don't think
it makes it more less.
We didn't
sad,
fix it. It's less. It gives you less of an incentive to do it. But it doesn't feel like we fixed it. Like starting off on card exchange. Why do you guys keep trying to break card exchange?
That is saucy, bro.
Card exchange into the rank 1. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy.
Pure plus. It's just the same thing as gladiators. Like, what the heck? What do you mean trying to break it? You did the same thing.
No, but like when it comes to gladiators, right? Gladiators get their draw, but gladiators need the draw because they don't work unless they have all their cards together. You didn't need to draw cards. Wandering subject does not need that, right? Card exchange
it was nice.
Being based. Free the homie OG Rugal. No, OG Rugal can never come back. He can never come back. Not for years, right? OG Rugal was busted. Okay, think Soul. How do we actually address the problem?
It's just hilarious because like the other deck I made last time, you don't get to use Ryu, but you have a bounce and pretty sexy Kappa stuff.
I think this deck
And
is
this
better.
deck, I mean, clearly, like you got to keep stepping up. Like it's Neo.
Yeah,
You gotta keep it new.
All right, you pipe down. You pipe down, sir. All right. When this card is summoned by a Swamp Dweller card effect, targeted card on the field, that target's attack is halved, and this card gains attack equal to the amount lost. Okay, so what if instead of having a card's attack, when this card is summoned, reduce the attack of a card on the field by this card's attack. That gets rid of the weird numbers because this card has 150 attack. So it's just like, hey, minus 150, but there's counterplay if your opponent is able to quickly reduce your card's attack, right? So that gets rid of the weird numbers. And because you're consistently...
I think
What
that
say you?
Loki sounds like a boost.
It is,
Like,
it is, but
now-
but the change being, you no longer gain any attack. So you're just at 150.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to
Right?
say like 300 sounds kind of
Exactly. No. So remove that boost, get rid of the weird numbers, and this card is basically just a 300 body because it's reducing by 150 and it's got 150 on the field. But if you summon it in a defensive position, well, it's got 0 defense. So tough titties, I suppose.
I guess so. I would say if we're removing the boost, I would say give him like 50 defense, or like give him some like.
I don't want
'cause
to help
he's not-
these guys, and let me tell you why. Because if I
mean,
do
it's
that,
fine.
I feel like they're going to need to lose something else. Because this deck currently has a recyclable rank 3 that can nerf their opponent by 150 if it's played right, potentially every turn. Potentially. Right? If you play it with like... Yeah, if you're able to achieve a good loop. Again, that's...
No,
rare.
because
It's gonna
like
be
you
every other
can
turn.
never, you can't ever get a loop going because you need his effect to get back
So-
one of the rank.
So
So-
here's what I would say. I would say if you turn 1, summon the rank 1, then card exchange, summon the rank 2, then... Sorry, not the rank 2, summon the rank 3, and then the rank 3 gets destroyed in that turn. Then on turn 2, you summon the rank 2, summon the rank 3 from the graveyard, activate its effect again. You're right, the loop breaks at some point, so you would only have it consistently for 2 turns. But still, that makes it so that in reality, that's 1 turn of rest, then another 2 turns of being able to do it. No, it's 2 turns and 1 turn of rest and a turn of being able to do it, then a turn of rest if you don't get destroyed, and then a turn of being able to do it. So 4 out of 6 turns, right? Which
Actually,
is
you
a
would never
lot.
because you wouldn't be able to to get the recycle. He needs to be summoned from the grave. So I guess he would need to like be destroyed. Then you summon the rank 1, and then you summon him back from grave again.
So,
And then
hold on.
because
What are the first 2?
when
The first 2 say summon a card from the graveyard. So if I go rank 1, turn 1, summon the rank 3, then turn 2, summon the rank 2, summon the rank 3 from grave. Turn 3, activate the rank 3, send itself to the graveyard to summon the rank 1 or the rank 2. Turn 4, the rank 1 or the rank 2 is on the field, summon the rank 3 from the graveyard, activate its effect.
to that to
Activate its
Turn
effect. Then turn 5, I'm not able to do it because I'd have to send it to the graveyard to summon the rank 2. Then turn 6, send the rank 2 to the graveyard to summon the rank 3. So you can, even without the recycle. Even without, because it can summon from the graveyard, that's 4 out of 6 turns, right?
Wait, what do you mean 4? Because I counted it.
You
with
got
and
so you
wasn't
got
like
it.
a
You
three.
got so turn 1, you do it. Turn 2, you do it. Turn 3, you have to set back up by getting the rank 2 or the rank 3. Sorry, the rank 1 or the rank 2 back on the field. So turn 3, you don't do it. Turn 4, you can then do it again because you've got the rank 2 on the field, destroy it, summon the rank 3 from the graveyard. Turn 5, you can't do it because you have to reset by summoning the rank 2 from the graveyard. Then turn 6, You can do it again by sending the rank 2 to the graveyard because it's on the field from turn 5 to summon the rank 3. So that's 4 out of 6 turns. Damn it, Neo.
Yeah, because I also taking into consideration that you don't need to actually like bring it back. So if it just survives,
So
I guess
that's what I'm explaining.
So in the best case scenario, it's 4.
Right.
But like if you're trying to get like consistently, it's 3. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, in any
I
event,
got you.
So 4
Yeah.
out of 6 turns is a lot because that means in total it is a 600 body. Wait, what? So if it does it 4 times, 150 each time, that is 600 total that it's taking from your opponent.
Because like, but I would say like it's removing 600. It's not like
So
because not all the time is it going to be able to remove the whole free.
But when you're counting, stats, it's how much of a stats advantage is this giving you, right? Like how we calculate Grimace. We count Grimace is giving you 400 stats, even though one is attack and one is defense. You get what I mean? So it's 400 total. So this is giving you 600, not counting its actual body on the field for those 4 turns. If we count its actual body on the field for those 4 turns, that number doubles to 1,200 off of a card that you never pay its rank cost. I think I might have made a mistake. I think I might have did an oopsie because that is way stronger than what I thought. I was so focused on the negate and I thinking that that's what needed to be balanced that I didn't actually factor in the strength of this just reducing your opponent's attack every turn. Not every turn, but you get what I'm trying to say. So,
I feel like the problem is his effect to add cards back to the hand.
Oh, that's a whole nother problem. That's not the problem. I haven't even gotten there yet.
Because like if we stop then it would stop it at 2 turns. You're not making it to 4 anymore.
No, you still are because don't these guys? What does this say? This says destroy this avatar, summon a card from your hand or graveyard. This one also says hand or graveyard. And this one says hand or graveyard. So you don't need to add a card back to hand to reset the loop. If they're in the graveyard, you can reset. Because you just summon them out of the graveyard. So the real problem with that add an avatar back to your hand is that is an extra resource for any deck because it's like, hey, any deck who wants to get something out of the graveyard can do
Wait, is it not?
Card.
Something is locked.
Nope, I just read it. It just says get an avatar out of the graveyard. I broke the game, Neo. We were so close. God. We were so. I was wondering why you got a Swamp Dweller because I was like, the loop is fine. You don't need to do that to keep the loop in check. This thing can just fish anything out of. I broke the game. I broke the game. I broke the game. God. What was I thinking? Was I
Zane
on
would
crack?
Be so pissed.
He would be so
he's not hit.
I'm so glad Zane is in here. How did I think that this made sense?
How did Neo catch this before me?
You didn't catch it. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. God, I was so happy. I was like, okay, yes, all the cards in the base. I have to update the doc that I sent to the developers because they're coding this. They're putting this data into the game right now. Okay. How do we
you
fix
sent
this?
it to them.
How do we fix this? How do we fix this? Think, Saul. Think. Locking that effect to Swamp Dwellers doesn't matter because they can reset from grave. They don't need it to be locked to Swamp. It doesn't matter if it's locked. They don't need to get their cards back. So, how do we fix this? What effect do we give you instead? Mission accomplished.
I would say the rank 1, keep the cost, stop from graveyard. The rank 2 can summon from graveyard.
But then that means we have to create a different effect. Because the benefits. I mean, yeah, we can.
Same effect. It's just like
no, as in the effect name. It just means that I have to do more stuff than changing the cards because they both have Fee Fi Fo. So those 2 effects work identically. So I guess this would be Fee Fi. This would be Fee Fi Fo, and this would be Fee Fi Fo Foam. Again, it's just the work. It's just changing the stuff on the cards. So I have to get more of the data that I've given them, but that's fine.
I'll say rank 1 only from hand, rank 2 only from graveyard,
Okay, so
and rank 3 can't summon anything but Swamp Dwellers.
Okay, so doing the rank 1, making it only from hand, kills the card exchange strat that you did this game, which I think I'm okay with, which means that you would have to summon the rank 2 turn 1 if you wanted to go with card exchange. That's fine. Okay, I think that's a good change for the rank 1. So rank 1, let me write that down. God, that is so... I really... As right when I thought I had it. Right when I thought I had it. Why did I make this deck, bro? Okay. Rank 1 ability change to Fi. Only summons from hand. Okay. Let's see what else.
And you pay 50 Nexus cost.
All right. Yeah,
I don't know if you added it.
Yeah, I'll write that down for all of them. All of the summon effects. All of the summon effects pay the rank cost of the card activating the effect. Okay, so there's that. FIFO says, so this card can only summon from hand. That fixes the first broken part of this loop. When battle phase 1 begins, destroy this card and summon another Swamp Dweller from your hand or graveyard. I feel like that
So,
needs to be hand
only
or
graveyard.
to be relevant. Oh,
I'll say only graveyard.
okay. But I mean, what does that actually change?
So it would make, so turn 1 you'd have to summon this card if you want to do card exchange,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to, so it'll create like a more like, you'd have to make more
Destroy.
choices.
I mean,
Because
in a sense, but then once that's done, though.
Yeah, because if
the problem
this
with
card
that
is destroyed,
Wait, because the problem with that is, that means we're effectively cutting the rank 1 out of the subset. Because with the rank 1 only being able to summon from hand, that means the optimal turn 1 just involves completely invalidating him because he only summons from hand.
I mean, it doesn't, because like now you have to use the Baroque to summon to
I
add the
see
card
what
to
you're
the
trying.
hand.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So what your suggested loop is you go rank 2, discard rank 3, summon rank 3 from grave, then when rank 3 is destroyed, because when rank, so on the turn that, so this would be summoned on turn 1, turn 2 maybe he destroys himself and resummons this one. You never need this. You never actually need this, because the only way that works is if on turn 1 when I summon this, instead of reducing my opponent's attack, which is the objective, I return this back to my hand. That way this guy has something that he can do. When he gets destroyed, then you can do this, and on like turn, I don't know, 4 get that effect. This feels like it's making it more complicated. That little shift seems like it complicates the deck quite a bit. Which,
I mean, is complicated better than balanced? I would say so.
I mean, I feel like there's a way to balance it without complicating it, right? It just might include reducing its overall power ceiling. The biggest crime about this whole thing is that these powerful effects aren't on waifus. True. They're on these ugly gentlemen, these ogre chads. Okay, so I want that to remain. Think, Saul. Think. You can only monster hunt once per contest. So you can summon the rank 3, but each of its effects can only be used once, because Monster Hunt is the only ability it has that can be used multiple times, right? That way.
Oh, the other 2 once per contest.
Yeah, the first one is once per contest. Yeah, the other 2 are both once per contest. The add from grave is once per contest. FIFO Fum is once per contest currently. So just make it a blanket thing, right? He can reduce attack, but he does it once. That way, even if he comes back, he's only offering 150 instead of 300. Right? And you have to
Yeah, I
be very
guess.
specific about where he's summoned. If he's summoned anywhere that isn't offensive, he's useless. So that creates
Yeah,
a niche
and
for him.
that would also like incorporate the rank 1, because now you'd have, because before you just spam Monster Hunt, but
Mhm.
now you'd use Swamp, and now you have a card in your hand that you would summon off the rank 1, because they all destroy it for cost, so you
They
can
do.
like do they
I'm
not
off to
destroy
work.
for
Have a
cost?
good rest. Yo, Nick, have a good one. Thank you for coming through and hanging out. I'll send you the documents that you're gonna need after we round up. I've just zeroed in on Swamp Dwellers now, trying to think of a fix. I think I do like that. Okay, so we now make it so that, I mean, if with that change, to be honest, I don't even know if changing FIFO rather is necessary now, because my biggest problem with it is how much power it was generating. But now, in the best case scenario, turn 1, they summon the boss monster. He has 300 points of effective stats. And then every time after that, he comes back at a 150. Right?
50,
Sorry?
turn 4 150, and turn 6 150.
Potentially, yes. So his stat ceiling effectively rises to...
750.
Is that... You did... Oh, yeah, you're right. 750. Which doesn't seem as bad for a rank 3. Right? It doesn't seem as bad for a rank 3, I think. I feel like that's healthier. This I do agree should be limited to just Swamp Dweller cards. So when he's summoned, he can add a Swamp Dweller back to hand.
So do you still think it's necessary to remove the Fortified then?
I want to say yes, but only because of how much this deck is moving around anyway. Although, with these nerfs, it might make it harder. Because again, this deck isn't a deck. This deck isn't a deck. This deck is a minor subset. The deck hasn't even done anything. Wanderings are the deck. All of this is just Swamp Dwellers, and I feel like that's important to remember, right? This guy isn't supposed to be a Ryu, right? They're not supposed to have the sauce like that. These are on the level of like Iron Kappas, right? And with that in mind, I want to remove the Fortified. I do, because again, I feel like the deck would play a lot better if it had the Fortified. That way, when one of them is summoned, the idea behind it was you summon this guy, he's fortified, so he's able to use his second ability to like negate something, and then because he's fortified, he survives long enough to re-summon this guy, was the thought behind it. But with the number of stats that these guys are putting on the field, I don't think that they need any help, because we only counted his effective stat range. We did not add in the 100 defense that this guy brings to the table. On each of his visits. That being said, he's probably not using it. That's just a hypothetical. That's why I didn't think it was worth counting. He's probably not using it. If he tries to, he dies. That breaks the cycle. So there's no point counting it. It's just the fact that body's being put on the field that I wanted to mention. Thinking about it, yeah, no, we're not going to give them Fortified. We're not going to give them Fortified. So, someone from Hand to Grave. Now I'm thinking about the change that you wanted to make, because it's like, okay, if you have one that summons from hand, it just makes it a very specific loop that the player is going to have to keep track of, and these are day 1 cards. I feel like I don't want that level of complication in a day 1 subset, so I would rather just bring the power level down than make it like, okay, you add 1, you do this. Kind of like what the change that happened to Wyverns, where it's like, okay, if you have both of these cards, do X, Y, and Z. Now it's like, okay, if you have this one, yes, you can do it. If you also happen to have this one, feel free, go ahead. Just making it easier to access, and keeping the power in check with that. I'm bewildered at the fact that I actually made this with my own hands, and I thought it was fine.
So another thing I would say is, since they summoned to where they were, the rank 2 has 100 defense, so it would make sense for him to be. Instead? Yeah, because like
Yeah.
if you're not fortified anymore, so
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
and it'll be like more conceptual because it goes from 0 to 100 attack to 150 attack.
Yeah.
Because like it's meant to be like, I'm assuming like the growth of this like goblin.
Not
He's
exactly.
growing.
The lore behind it is that he's a shaman. They all exist at the same time as each other in the lore. He's the chief, he's one of the fighters, and he's the mage. But no, I do agree with you still. It should be attacking, not defense. It should be an offense-oriented subset with a lot of recyclability. So I guess that's its identity, as it were. And so we just make the changes. Okay, so this is one of the biggest reworks for a subset. All of R3 abilities only work once. Remove the fortification. What else? Remove fortified. Change rank 2 to 100 attack. I think I want to give the rank 1. Give rank 1 50 attack, so it goes 50, 100, 150. The draw from grave effect. From grave effect only fishes out swamp dwellers. And honestly, I wish there was a 4th swamp dweller just so we could increase their synergy rating by 1. And I feel like that would be the final thing that made it work.
I mean, we have like, what's it called? I guess you need to add a card to the batch, which I don't think you want to do.
I literally can't right now. I've with the calculations and everything that's been done, everything like the shop, like 50 pages of math have been based around the 122 number. All of the deals that I have with artists and game devs are around the 122 number. I physically can't add anything to the current set.
Yeah, so
I think
we can't.
So we make FIFO a recurring. We leave FIFO the way it is. Let you summon from hand or grave. Add the life point cost onto it. Make it so that you can only reduce attack once. I'm going to make it so that you can only do I like this or hate it? Make it so that you can only negate once. This card that allows you to negate, you can only negate once, but instead of only negating a rank 1 or 2, it can now negate rank 3s because it can only do it once.
I would say it can't, because like that would kind of make them really strong against Reapers. Because their effect activates during the battle
phase, so they would turn off Umbrage, and he would die. He would die.
And this is splashable, so it's just like Assault Thief on legs.
I mean, Assault Thief is already on legs. It's splashable.
I mean, on legs, as is attached to a monster.
I know what you mean. I'm messing with you. So I'll hyperfixate on a lot of things. I do. So I hear hyperfixating on 3 chunk boys. I literally am. No need to disrespect the boys. They handsome. They aight. With that being said and done.
What do you mean they aight? Like, what the heck?
I don't listen.
Ugly.
Listen. Body positivity. Alright.
I mean, I don't know. What about your teeth looking like that? Is body positive?
So 50
my guy,
because again, I like the idea that you had about 1 only summons from hand, 1 only summons from grave. It just makes it so much more of a complicated setup. Because that means the loop now goes turn 1, rank 2, discard rank 3, summon from grave. Turn 2, and cut a card in half. Turn 2, destroy rank 3, but you wouldn't get the rank 1 out of your hand because it can't summon anything when it gets destroyed. It's literally useless, so that combo doesn't work. So that means rank 3 needs to revive rank 2, maybe negate something, then wait till the next turn, so now we're on turn 3, destroy itself, summon the rank 3 again, return rank 2 to hand, not die, then destroy rank 3 to summon rank 1, to summon rank 2. There's no point. Why not just keep the cycle going
I mean-
between the rank 3 and the rank 2 at that point?
I mean, you didn't. When you turn the back, you can summon the rank 2, the rank 1 from your hand. So you can add back and summon during the same turn.
How? So the add back is an effect. You wouldn't be able to activate another effect that turn,
Oh yeah, that is true.
right?
So turn
So,
1 rank 2 half, turn 2 tribute to summon rank 2,
yeah. Then turn
turn 3 rank 2
into
rank
3
2
again.
tributes to summon rank 2, and then rank 2 adds during that turn. So you could summon turn 3.
No, but
Someone rank
I
1.
agree. So Neil, that's the exact thing that I said. But my question is, what's the point? Because if you add the rank 2 back to your hand, then on turn 4, when you summon again, why not just summon the rank 2 again and get your negate? What's the point of summoning the rank 1? Right? Like it's never relevant. Because
Yeah,
the,
I mean,
the rank
I guess
3 the rank 3 never ends up back in your hand as part of the cycle. So there's never a point at which you need to summon it from the hand because of card exchange, right? So card exchange just invalidates the rank 1. If card exchange wasn't a thing, then to get the cycle started, yeah, you'd need the rank 1 to make that work. But card exchange is a thing, and I think card exchange is balanced, but it creates a situation where the rank 1 is useless.
Yeah, I guess keeping, because I guess it's just like better to like just keep it this way.
Right?
Rank cost, summon both of them.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
having it once per duel just makes it more fair.
Yeah, the rank 3, all of the rank 3's abilities being once per duel, that's a shout. But do you think all of the summons as a whole should be once per contest? Because at that point, it's basically just, hey, this deck gets you a rank 3 for the price of a rank 2. And there's no way to use all of the rank 3's abilities. Because you summon, well actually no, you could summon the rank 1, then summon the rank 3 out of the graveyard, use one ability, then the rank 3 gets destroyed, summon the rank 2, summon the rank 3 again, use a second ability. Actually, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. So you get the rank 3 out twice, and you can get yourself an add from graveyard to hand, and a monster hunt. So you're able to get a solid enough set of stats, I would say, for relatively cheap. Although with the rank 2 activating its ability to summon the rank 3 from grave, you'd be paying 100. So at that point, you might as well have just summoned it from the hand. Oh, this is hard.
Yeah.
This is hard. I'm actually developing a headache. Something you could try adding to the game that could balance a lot of generic cards both now and in the future is adding a rune requirement to a card. What do you mean? Swamp Kings could require a specific generic rune in your deck to use their abilities, like synergy, but not restricted to a specific subset, just specific generic runes already in the game. That clashes with another concept that already exists, in that only major subsets get dedicated runes, right? Minor subsets don't get runes dedicated to them. That's part of what makes them minor subsets.
Yeah, and that would actually fundamentally change the game.
Exactly. I feel like that's too big of a change. Plus, that changes how
I'll
you
say,
use
like-
deck build for the minor subsets.
Yeah, I'll say like it's fine for them not to be once per duel,
Developing.
but I guess we can test it, see if it's like affecting too much.
What
But I'll say like this
I'm,
definitely cannot target rank 2s.
yeah, no,
rank threes.
Yeah, I agree. But then the problem is, what rank 2s have good enough abilities that it matters? I guess gladiators. You know what? Actually, wait.
What do you mean?
hold on.
What
Wait,
did you
wait,
just
wait,
ask
wait,
that?
wait,
Like
wait.
rank 2s have some of the sauciest abilities.
Yeah, because you've got Caligula, you've got Boy in the
Valiant.
Grimace. Valiant still
Minus-
Valiant
minus-
don't have any good rank 2s. Only, but I guess the rank 1 is
Di-
good. The
It's
rank
rank
1
one
is
and
good.
rank
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Oh no, but I was thinking. My statement was what rank 2s have good abilities. I was only thinking about rank 2s. But no, even then, I'm not being fair. So here's what I'm now thinking.
And
I think
both minuses.
I figured out what I want to do.
Mhm.
Fee Fi Fo on both cards costs 50 points out of your Nexus gauge, right?
Okay.
So in the case of the rank 1, you pay 50 for its summon, pay 50 again, you get a rank 3. Still cheaper than summoning a rank 3. For the second one, you pay 100 for its summon, and you pay 50 for the resurrection from the graveyard, you get a rank 3. So again, that's 50 points saved from just summoning the rank 3 normally, right? Both of them being once per turn, I think is fair and balanced. I'm all right with that. The only thing that I think then needs to be changed is there is no point in using the first ability of the rank 3 or the last ability of the rank 3. So those need to be changed, right? Because the first ability of the rank 3 just summons the other cards back over, but they are weaker than the rank 3, 1, and 2, they can no longer summon the rank 3 back out. So there's no point in having them loop like that. So instead of having the aim be a loop, change it so the aim is just to get the rank 3 out to use one of its 3 abilities. And since you can only summon it twice and all of them are on summon, of its 3 abilities, you choose in a duel which 2 you... Stop calling it a duel. You choose in a contest which 2 you want to activate. And I think that's the balancing act. So the real point of this deck is no longer shuffle, 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 shuffle. The real point of this deck, take the negate off of the rank 2, put it on the rank 3. Wait. I think I'm cooking. Hold on. Take the negate off of the rank 2. Does the rank 2 even need to be a rank 2? 2 rank 1 cards, both with the Fee-Fi-Fo ability, because what would you give the rank 2 to make it meaningful that it's there effectively? Maybe wait. Okay, create opportunities for different decks, for different builds. Have the rank 1 be the rank 1, have the rank 2 be a search on summon to give you the option to add the rank 3 to your hand from your resource deck if you chose not to build your deck with the rank 3 in hand, but you wouldn't be able to summon it that same turn. That just creates different deck building scenarios and opportunities. Put the negate on the rank 3, put the cutter cards attack and defense and half on the rank 3, and then come up with a third ability on the rank 3 that fills that last slot, and I think that works. I think that's balanced, right?
So what I would say as well is, does it need to be a rank 3?
What do you mean?
Couldn't it just be a rank 2? Because like a lot of decks, a lot of like minor subsets, there's not like specific rank requirements. So it could be like 1 rank 1, 2 rank 1s, and 1 rank 2.
You're cooking. The only reason it's a rank 3 is for thematic purposes. We could go 1, 2, 2. That way we don't have to come up with the second ability. It's just you summon it the first time, you get the attack cut in half. You summon it the second time, you get the other thing. It being a rank 3 only serves to inflate the cost of its actual summon. However, the problem with that then is it's no longer worth it. It's no longer worth it because remember the cost benefit thing. When it was a rank 1 to summon a rank 3, you're saving 100. When it was a rank 2 summoning a rank 3, you saved 50. But if it's a rank 2 now, if anything, a rank 1 to summon it would be breaking even. You might as well have just summoned it. And if you put it at 300, sorry, if you put the rank 2 basically makes it more expensive to summon another rank 2. I'm developing. What the hell did I just come into? Yo, Brandon, how you doing, bro? Thank you for the renewed membership.
What I would say is that, yeah, so it would be better to summon it, but you can only summon it so many times.
I mean, that is true, but so maybe the notification just came through. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it.
Because if they're both rank 1s with the same effect, they can both be summoned from grave.
But then, so you don't. But having 2 rank 1s with different names and different stats, with them having an identical effect, is something that hasn't actually been done before, right? That's the one thing that I'm uncomfortable about.
One could be 100 attack and 100 defense.
But at that point, it doesn't feel like a meaningful difference. Right? It doesn't, because again, you want each card to feel like it has its own identity, right? Like, there are no two, to use Yu-Gi-Oh as an example, there are no 2 identical Sky Striker cards. Like, Ray and Rose may have similar bodies in terms of their stats, but they do entirely different things both on the field and in the graveyard, right? I feel like giving 2 cards just different names, but everything about them is the same except you have a little bit more attack, that just means that you are objectively better, right? Like, you cost the exact same, you just give me more attack. Like, that's what I don't want to do. So I think the second one needs to stay.
Oh, I was saying like, okay, yeah, I guess. So this has to be rank 2.
Yeah,
okay.
he has to be rank 2. Now, as for the rank 3 coming down to a rank 2, I like the idea in concept, but then if I'm a player and I think to myself, okay, I'm saving.
If this stays a rank 2, then yeah, this has to stay rank 3.
Exactly, right? So I think we do have to come. There has to be a new third ability, right? There has to be a new third ability created,
and a new second ability.
Because the second ability is fine.
Oh, you're changed on the rank 2 because you took it away from him.
The ability on the rank 2 is to search now for the rank 3. If you choose not to put it in your hand, in case you don't want to go the card exchange route, right? Like, let's say you put it in the resource deck. Instead of card exchanging, you just draw it out. That way, if you wanted to, you could start with just the rank 2 in hand and the other 2 cards in your resource deck and be able to play. Instead of going rank 2, rank 1 card exchange, taking up 3 spaces in your opening hand. So it creates a variance in how you can deck build. So the deck building becomes more flexible that way, right?
So still locking them one from hand, one from grave? Or
I don't want to.
no?
I think. Well, I have to follow my guy here. Yo, Brandon with the Canadian 100, bro. Thank you so much, man. You guys, honestly, Zane dropped a doozy. Did I just say doozy? I'm turning into an old man. But like, I am. Thank you so much. Zane dropped something like crazy when he came in. You've done the same thing. I love you guys. Obviously, everything goes straight into the development of the game. So this is helping me get legal stuff done. It's helping me get development done. It's helping me hire more developers to make things go faster. Thank you so much for the love, bro. Welcome to today's episode of Takes All Out of Context. Ray and Rose have similar, but bro, you know that's not what I meant. You know that's not what I meant. Sorry, I missed your older message. No, I'm not suggesting make runes for minor subsets. Just that we use already existing runes as requirements in the deck to use specific cards. Not all minor subsets need the restriction. Just at your description, like Swamp King's Ice. I think I get what you mean. So it's not like, oh, it's not like this rune serves this specific deck. More so like the card itself says, if this rune was activated, I can do this kind of thing. So that feels like an idea for an entire subset. If anything, I would like, ooh, that's a fun idea for a subset, the generic subset, where it's like, hey, we can activate our effects when you use specific generic runes. So it's not like the runes were made for them, but they can ascribe the runes to themselves and get like powered up versions of the runes. I need to focus. That's not what we're doing right now. I'm gonna write that down after the stream. Okay, so brain cells. Rank 1, pay 50, summon from hand or grave. Rank 2, pay 50, summon for hand or grave, or search, add the rank 3 from deck to hand. Is that too strong? No, because we're limiting the number of times the rank 3 can be used. This could very well be the strongest support subset. This may well be the strongest synergy rating 3 subset. Thanks, Soul. No, because that's still too much. Think. No, because that's a searchable negate. I don't want that this early in the game. But if the rank 3 is only negating rank 2s, that's not as bad actually. I don't mind a negate to rank 2s.
And it's during the battle phase and it's
true. Can't. Okay, yes. I almost let myself forget about the other restrictions that this deck has. I think I'm okay with that. What's the third ability? The first one reduces an opponent's attack. The second one negates a rank 2. The third one thematically, because their whole thing is about staying in the swamp. What's a good third thematic effect? Because that's why I was like, oh yeah, return a card from the graveyard to the hand. But now with how all the cards work, there's no point in returning any swamp relics to the hand, and making it a generic return to hand is way too strong. So instead of returning from grave to hand, it could be...
What about moving on?
Sorry?
What about moving on?
What?
It's like there's something.
Are you speaking in tongues? What just happened? Why can't I hear you? Oh, you lagging a little bit. You say something about moving?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you think it could be a movement based ability. I mean, moving thematically does make sense. It's his swamp. Think so. Okay, so the third ability could be on summon, place this card at either checkpoint. That way you can have it immediately in the counter zone, so that's just a 150 body, or you can have it immediately past the assault zone. That way if your opponent is trying to make something happen, although the summon is only going to be possible during the battle phase, at which point any card moving to the counter zone would already be there, so that's not actually helpful. Although, no, there is still a use to it. Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah, there is still a use to it.
Going directly to the checkpoint.
Right, exactly. So if your opponent is pressing you and you didn't do anything to counter, you could decide, okay, let me switch strategies, move over to the other zone, use it as a wall, eat up an attack, deal a little bit of damage, and then use the rank 1 or whatever that's still in your hand to summon it again later for the other effect. That's a third ability. We did it. Okay, we fixed it. We have reworked the deck completely. Like, it's not, they look the same, but they're different people. Oh, boy, that was tough. Okay. I should write down some of those ideas so I don't forget them.
Yeah.
So, R2 no longer has negate. It's a search. R3 locked to once per turn for all abilities. No more summon from GY. It has the negate. No more add from GY. It can move to the counter. I spelled counter wrong. Counter or assault zones and draw from grave effect only efficient. Yep. So we don't need this anymore. We don't. Okay. Yep. We can still give them the attack boost. Remove fortification. We've already sorted this out.
Oh, so they keep the attack boost.
Yeah, so it'll be 50, 100, 150. All summon effects pay.
Oh, okay.
All summon effects pay 50, not the rank cost. Pay 50. And G, rank 1. Yep, we don't need to make it only summon from the hand. We fixed that. And they summon the original position.
Yeah,
okay.
One play I was thinking of.
Okay.
So you summon both the rank 2.
Yep.
And then you can search and card exchange with if you search with the rank 2.
Yes, you can, but at that point you're basically just playing pure swamp dwellers because that's 2 of your 3 summons. I threw my pen. Okay. So I think that is possible, but I hope it should be balanced.
You thin your by 2.
You do, but because the deck is so small, you have 5 cards. So that means you run out of steam faster. So again, you are right in saying that this would make a deck like that a lot faster, and it does thin out your deck. So that is a very good play. But my hope and my prayer is that it's not game breaking, because at that point, you would only have, if you summon the rank 3 that turn, you'd only have 1 more summon of the rank 3. Plus, if your opponent destroys the rank 2 in that situation before you're able to get the rank 3 back in grave, that's it. You don't have any more summons, right? So that could neuter the strategy.
Okay.
Right? So
I was just like saying it as like the nice way to like your deck.
No, I get you. All right. I'm happy with that. I am happy. Well, I'm not happy. I'm happy is the wrong word. I'm not angry anymore. Is the best way of putting it. Thank you very much, bro, for the duel. As it turns out, we've still got more playtesting to do than I thought, because this was a deck where I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be fine. Like, it's not that good. Not realizing I had created a juggernaut. At synergy
I feel like
3.
you're a bit too presumptuous, like with determining like the trouble. It's done just because we went through all the major ones.
So you're still lagging a lot. That being said, I probably disagree with you. and that's okay. I don't know what you said, but it's Neo.
What?
So you're probably wrong, but that's okay because we love you anyway.
I was just saying that like we haven't been for like the minor ones, so it's probably like
Oh yeah, we have. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we haven't gone through the minors because I feel like we just assumed they were harmless. Brandon has to go. Thank you very much for the love, Brandon. Have a great rest of the day. We'll catch you later. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Neo's ping is funny to look at. Yeah, it's just jumping all over the place, man. I think because certain decks like Harpies, for example, it's very easy to visualize and see that like, okay, this doesn't seem broken per se. The only combo that I feel like works for Harpies is like pairing them with the Reapers and letting them hide behind Umbrage to try and deal direct damage. That could be good. But then at that point, if you deal with Umbrage, Harpies still suck.
I would say we need to test like probably Wyvern because they're like.
It's been a while since we
like,
did anything with Wyverns. You're right.
Yeah, I would say because like the thing with the minor subject, it's not that good. It's the options they give to the deck.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think so the reason why I haven't been as worried about Wyverns is because they're at a 5, right? The only thing they can be played with in the major leagues is Ancient Beasts, right? Other than that, they're fully restricted to minors, but if anything, they're basically a pseudo major subset because they're going to get support in the future that turns them into a major subset because they tick all the boxes for being a major except having runes, right? That's the only reason why I don't count them as a full major because they're a synergy rating 5. So they're not splashable, which is why I'm not as scared as them. The only reason, like if Swamp Dwellers were a deck onto themselves, I don't think I would have had as much of a problem with them because it's like, okay, you have to play all the Swamp Dweller cards, you have to sort this and that out. They probably still would have been broken, but it wouldn't be as bad. The problem was that everything that we discussed was on top of whatever else your deck was already doing. But yeah, I do agree. I think we've tested Kappas, we've tested Minotaurs. Now we just need to start doing mashups, just mashups. Because everything on an isolated basis, everything is fine, right? I feel like now I can confidently say that because before we hadn't tested Swamp Dweller, so we didn't know. It just seemed like they were fine. Now everything's been tested at least once. Actually, twice. Yeah.
What else is left?
The only thing that has never been tested is Harpies because just objectively they were built to be bad. No, they're not good. So now it's the combinations, right? Because if you combine Harpies with something else, then maybe you can make it good. So I think the most pressing thing to test right now is Wyverns with a lot of the minors. With Swamp Dwellers now being balanced, or hopefully being balanced, everything else has been tested. The generics are all good. Asylums are good.
Yeah,
Daemons got buffed, and now they're an actual option. So. Yeah, I tested Asylums. I think we did three to four duels with them. Right? It's a good thing I included the Wyvern lore, room for more support. True, that as well. I would love to see a side format for the game where all synergy requirements are removed. That is something that's going to be a thing. Well, I haven't decided if that's going to be part of the Nexus lock, or rather than removing the synergy ratings, just bring them down for the Nexus lock. So it's like, if Ryu is normally a synergy rating 7, make him a 3. That way, because for the Nexus lock, it's a draft format, you get 30 random cards. So if you get a bunch of cards that don't work together, what are you going to do? So synergy ratings have to be adjusted for that.
I mean, shoot, almost impossible to make a synergy rating with the dot.
Exactly, right? So it's like either you remove it completely. So my plan is for that event and for certain events to make it so that like, okay, the events are going to be around card releases. So like, okay, these new cards are coming to the game, maybe 3 different subsets. We're going to do an event around them. You get 30 random cards from these 3 subsets to play around with to get a feel for it. You don't get to keep them. Just to like, okay, yeah, get a feel for it and have fun with them. But because it's from a limited selection, you're more likely to get an active synergy rating, and if not, you can do a reshuffle or something like that. I'll decide on that later because events are for much later in the future. Okay,
so you know, like how you said that there's like prompts and stuff, like decks that you want. So
wait, what
are they, like how many prompts are there?
Prompts in what sense?
Like the archetypes you're thinking of making.
Oh, prompts for deck creation. there's no real limit, honestly. I came up with some new ones today. And it's in terms of prompts that are like ready to go, like I have the idea and I'm just waiting to decide when I'm actually going to flesh it out. There is a finite number. I can show you that. I have one. This one is I've already started working on this. So things that are just a prompt, this has already been worked on. These are all new supports. So technically they are prompts, but not like subset prompts. This is an Ascension prompt, so that doesn't count. So let's not count any of those. 1, 2, and then I classify, because these might be slotted in anywhere. I might put them in year 1, year 2, wherever they fit. So I've classified them into things that I think will be low tier based on the prompt or high tier based on the prompt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 prompts. So I've got 25 prompts that haven't been worked on, but that also doesn't factor in all of, because like everything up here, this is all the way like years down the line. Sacred Art actually has been fleshed out. Wicked's been fleshed out. Oh well, yeah, everything before. No, Kalaka hasn't been fleshed out. This is just a prompt. So 26. Crystal Rose hasn't been fleshed out, so 27. Winged Beast 28. That's been done. Sisterhood 29. Nightmares, they've been fleshed out a little, but they're not done, so I wouldn't really count that as its own thing, but maybe 30 if you counted that. So yeah, about 30 prompts currently.
Yeah, because I was thinking of cooking an archetype.
Oh, you want to cook?
Because like, I was like, I was thinking of, like, I was like, you know what? We don't have much like power ranges. So I was thinking like a Strike Force archetype.
Strike Force archetype. I don't know if I have any prompts that necessarily fit into that. But again, coming up. So if you've got free time, and
like,
no, because no. But that's the thing. The decks don't have to be limited to my prompts, right? My prompts are just ideas that I have for the game. That I'm gonna implement. If you feel like you come up with an idea that the only issue would be is if it clashes, but then if it clashes with something that's just a prompt, that's fine because we can just amend the prompt, right? So if you feel like you have an idea for something that you want to make, feel free. We'll look at it. If it fits, awesome. If it doesn't, we can rework it. Because I'm trying my best to not throw anything away.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't like. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
I wanted to look at the prompt, see if it was like.
Yeah. Oh, to see if there was anything that sort of fit into what you were thinking of.
And if not, yeah, I was gonna come give you my TED talk, I guess.
Okay, fair. Right. So you said
prompt first.
So what I can do is actually no, that's very tedious because of how my brain works, how my work is organized. All of the prompts are individual documents, so I can't like give you access to a thing to just read all of them together, because then I'd have to give.
Isn't there a doc with the docs? Because I'm pretty sure you can view the prompt. You don't have.
So the doc with the docs is my master doc, and the master doc cannot be shared. If anything were to happen to this specific document, the entire game would crumble. I'm not even joking. So yeah, I never share out the master doc. It's always locked, right? It's always locked. Because this, I
guess you could show it on stream so I can like.
Yeah, exactly. Just like go through a couple of them. I want to do the lore first, and also you asked.
So did you show all the? Did you show all the prompts on stream?
Here's what I'll do. Again, I'll go through them quickly. I'll go through them quickly. And if you hear one that sounds good, as for the God card deck, I actually did create a God card deck recently. It's called the Ancient Entities. We can start there. But actually, hold on. I want to read the lore first. Actually, what will take longer? Think so. Saul, how long is the lore? Because if this is faster, maybe we do this first and then do I mean,
I would say like go through the lore first, like
lore.
But this doesn't have to be done now, I guess.
No, I mean, if you want to work on one, I'd rather it be in your hands. That way, whenever you get the idea, you can do it. Plus, if the lore is like 5,000 words, that's gonna be the last thing I do before I sign off for the night. There will be nothing after that. So, so I'll go through the high tiers. Right? Let me go through. I mean, again, maybe one of the ones I've opened already sounds like something that you would like. So for example, the Limbo subset, this is just going to be a minor subset. To be honest, this isn't big enough for you to want to make something. Basically, the idea behind this is they place themselves in the opponent's defense zone and then let you pierce them, right? So you summon it, it jumps into...
kind of like minus?
Not exactly. So the actual strategy there is it locks your opponent out of summoning cards into their own defense zone. So you fill your opponent's defense zone up with these guys, and then they're not actual protection because you can pierce through them. So it's like Minos, but stronger effectively. Because it fully just you can, because you know the defense zone limit is 3. If there's 3 cards in the defense zone, you can't summon anything else there. So if you wanted to, you could just lock your opponent out of their own defense zone and not even pierce until you're ready to like KO, basically. And there's nothing they can do to stop you. Like, let's say you had a Hadrian at 800 attack or whatever, assuming it could still get that high, and you played it with this, that is minus whatever defense these guys have. If they had like 50 defense, that is a guaranteed 750 direct damage to your opponent that there's nothing they can do about because you've co-opted their defense zone. So that's why it's in the high tier side of things. It'll probably need balancing when it eventually comes out. I wanted it to be, it's not long. I held myself back a lot. Okay, good. Wait, 230. Okay, no, let's read that real quick then. That's light. That's light. Okay. In that case, let's do that first. I'm gonna not showcase DMs. I do that so often, and I've realized that people really don't like it when I do it. I'm just forgetful. I just don't think about anything. Yeah, I said it. I heard it as soon as I said it, and it's still true. Okay, let's bring this back down. Wyvern subset prompt. So, yeah, you kept this light. Okay, let's take a look. Many believe that the elements themselves heed the command of dragons. These dragons reside on an ancient island and are said to send their commands to the world, acting on the prayers of the world's living beings. Okay, so they're like deities almost. All right. The dragons were split between 6 tribes. 6? Where the Oh, you added tribes. Fire, water, wind, earth, light, and darkness. It was normal for the dragon tribes to unite a member with another tribe to create children who can wield... Are we talking breeding? It was normal for the dragon tribes to unite a member within another... to unite a member with another tribe to create children who can wield more specialized elements, such as lightning or nature. So there's lots of room for extra dragons in this. However, one such combination was forbidden, as the tribes agreed it would bring only destruction to the world, light and darkness. Despite it being forbidden, a light dragon met, saved, and fell in love with the darkness dragon. They had a child, the Chaos Wyvern. Oh, I thought this would be Omnis, able to wield light and darkness, the 2 most powerful elements. The child grew too powerful. One tragedy, the Chaos Dragon accidentally killed the dragon of the Water Tribe. Why the Water Tribe, bro? That's racist. This sparked a war. Water, fire, wind, and earth unite. Oh! Oh, Cook. This is like Avatar, but I was about to say Avatar but better, but no, because nothing's better than Avatar. But like this idea of the different tribes, them being dragons and whatnot. Okay, Omnis popping up out of here like the Avatar. Water, fire, wind, and earth at the same time. Led a final charge against chaos, drawing strength from the other elements. Omnis says, I really like this. I really like this. I really like this. Now, what I will say is, you held yourself back too much, my friend. Because as much as I say I'm not ready to read a lot because it's me, realistically speaking, for each prompt, not I'm expecting, because that is enough in a sense. But for the actual app, like, let me show you what Nat created for Minotaurs. And the guy who's working on, stuff is, the range has been 2,000 to 2,500 words, right? Because that allows for multiple chapters in a story mode to be told. So Nat did the Minotaur subset, and it came out really, really good. I really like what she did. There were
How
some
many
changes.
words does Nats have?
Nat has 2,600 roughly, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's like
so-
10x.
Yeah, so Nat did like a whole story, right? Nat did a whole story, 5 pages long. It was longer than I was expecting, but then I realized, you know what, we can actually work with it because some subsets will have short lore, and that's good. But it's okay for some subsets to have longer lore and have it be broken up. So yeah, the only thing that she did that was slightly off was that she told it from like a book perspective rather than a narrator perspective, because like I don't want character dialogue, that's too tedious to incorporate into the story. I wanted it to be a narrated sort of thing, but it's still good. I want to flesh it out more. Feel free. Think of what you read as a summary. I thought it felt like a summary as I was reading it, and it felt like a good summary. That was really, really good, right? That's what you get for forcibly uniting people. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. Neil, are you gargling or is your internet acting up? What is that sound? Right?
I don't know, to be honest.
So yeah, then there was the Heirs of Bass subset. These guys changed the type of other cards on the field. So it's like you can make things assault types or defense types. This is the God card subset, the ancient entities. Basically, the concept is if you are able to occupy all 6 zones that you are able to control at the exact same time, without your opponent having a card in any of those zones, you automatically win. Right? That's because in this game, just drawing cards like in Exodia Strat doesn't work. The unique mechanics that we have revolve around movement. So you would have to have a card in your assault zone, the first checkpoint, the nexus, your defense zone, the second checkpoint, and your counter zone all at the same time, while your opponent doesn't have a card. No, that's not even correct. You would also have to have a card in your opponent's defense zone, because that is a zone on the field you can occupy. So every zone where you're able to have a card on the field, if you have a card there while your opponent has nothing in those zones, and then you have this last card in the Nexus, a support type card, you automatically win. So that's how our Exodia, our God card is going to work. Rather than being like a God card's like Slyther, Ra, and whatever Nimbus, I forgot what his name is, Obelisk, right? We have more of like an Exodia strat where it's like, okay, there is one main Exodia card, because again, you could have the entire subset that's focused around clearing space, but you need the one specific card that actually has the effect to win you the game. So that's the God, as it were.
Okay. So your opponent can't have anything in the Nexus, can't have anything in their defensive zone.
Yep, has to be completely clear. They can't, exactly, because that's what makes it difficult. They can't have anything at either checkpoint in the Nexus or the defense zone, and because you have to have a card in the assault and counter zone at the same time, unless you use isolation or something else to keep your cards there and not let them move forward, you're gonna have a tough time doing that, right?
Time. So someone
I didn't hear what you said.
And assault zone in the world. If you summon the card in the assault zone at the same time you summon the card in the Nexus.
Exactly that, but then what's it called? So that means during wave start on that turn, you'd have the best opportunity. But because the wave just started, your opponent probably summoned cards. So it's not gonna be as easy as one might initially think. So hopefully it's good. Is Mike's using mouthwash? Leave Neo alone. This is another one, a subset that's just immune to status effects based on their passive. They just have the passive effect, hey, we are always cleansed, so you can never hit us with the status effect. There's another one that, and again, because this is high tier, a deck that tributes their own cards so that neither player can activate either monster or rune effects during the turn. So it's effectively a floodgate deck, but one that won't come out for a long time. Turn this off, so probably not that one. Primordial Rulers, I haven't figured out exactly how this works, but basically they have, how the deck is going to work is every other turn, they don't play anything, right? So turn 1, they would not play any cards, but then on turn 2, they would go crazy, right? Turn 3, they don't play any cards, then on turn 4, they go crazy, right? It's that kind of thing where it's like, okay, they sacrifice a turn to build up power, as it were, and then the next turn they unleash that built up power. Haven't decided how it's going to work. And by the way, if any of these sound like fun ideas that you'd like to like pick up, let me know. Earthbound subset, what does this do? Oh yeah, so Earthbound is going to be a subset that has the ability to use status effect. There's going to be a new status effect. You know how Inducted brings you into a subset? There's going to be a status effect that eliminates your subset, making it so that like your subset specific effects don't work on you, right? Like the effects can still be activated and your synergy is still fine because you're in the deck, but you, like for example, if a card wants to boost the attack of a wandering card, you would no longer count. That's what this deck is going to be about, so you can see why it's in the high tier section.
Yeah.
What
It's basically
else?
a floodgate with extra steps.
Effectively, right? Boo, skip to the waifus. Any of these could be waifus is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Literally, because these are all still just concepts. So I stopped at okay, so I don't think I showed you Mech Stars. I'm just gonna do previews. Why am I opening the whole thing? Open preview. So Mech Stars say oh, this is a really fun one that it took a lot of thinking to do. Basically, this deck works off of sending examples onto the field. So if you had a Mech Star card in your hand, what its first effect would be is summon it. So during the wave start, if you summoned no cards this turn, summon a token onto the field with my exact stats in the assault, defense, or counter zone, right? So you get a token, cool, and you're kind of scouting the field. You go through the turn with the tokens, and then on the very next turn, you are then forced to summon the actual Mech Star in the place where you summoned the token. So it's like, okay, you get to sort of, you feel out the board kind of thing. You use tokens, and so basically every card has close to double what its actual stats are because they summon the tokens to go out first. They're gonna do other stuff, but that's the primary idea behind the subset that I thought of. The Nism subset is supposed to be waifus, and they're broken, right? Okay, so yeah, this one is intentionally going to have something that is busted. They are the only deck that I have envisioned where the point is, if they are able to do what they do, they can remove cards that your opponent controls from the game. And from what we've established, moving a card from the game affects a deck's active synergy, so they have the ability to turn your opponent's effects off if their strategy works. So whatever the strategy is needs to be very convoluted, so it's actually something you have to work for. The Lobo subset does, let's take a look. Oh yeah, so the Lobo subset is a subset of cards that can just tribute themselves on command to the graveyard and then resummon themselves from the graveyard with their stats refreshed, basically. So if you have a Lobo,
this is Lobo, the DC character.
yes, right? I'm glad you got the reference, right? So if they take a hit and they survive, tribute to the graveyard, summon back from the graveyard, boom, their stats are refreshed again. So that is what these guys are all about. It's going to be a minor subset. The Archon subset is, I don't think this one is up for grabs. I think this is one that I wanted to do. No, it's not. It's not. Basically, these are just cheap. Oh yeah, this one is a really, this deck could suck or it could be the most busted. So basically how it works is it's a shared power subset. The concept behind it and the lore behind it is going to be, it's a brand new world and new Archons are rising up to claim different things. Like to become, okay, I'm gonna be god of the mountains, I'm gonna be god of the air. They're dividing up the world. So how that plays out in game is you summon one card, and if you only, all of them have this effect, if you only control me, I have something crazy like 750 attack, right? Now, every time you summon another card from this subset, whatever attack the card on the field has gets cut in half and divided between the two. So it is sometimes in your interest to only have one, maybe two, and share that really high attack between them, and then they do other stuff, right? So that's the concept behind that deck. What else do we have? The Wajette deck. I don't even remember why I named it this. I'm pretty sure this is a minor subset. Okay, yeah, this deck shuffles bricks into your opponent's resource deck. So you just shuffle like a zero attack whatever into your opponent's resource deck to make it harder for them to draw the cards they actually want to use.
To rocks.
Yeah, basically. So you shuffle bricks into their deck. The Nest subset.
Keeping it copyright free, yeah? Bricks is totally not rocks.
A subset was, oh yeah, this one is really fun. The Nest subset is probably going to be either going to be really strong or it's going to suck, right? Boo, skip to the waifus. Dibs on this one. Which one?
Like,
I
I've
don't
heard
remember. You want mech stars and? I mean, sure. I can. Let me. You want mech stars? I will pin mech stars down for you. I'll pin mech stars down for you. Because I don't have any plans for it right now. I had no intention of getting to it anytime soon. So I'll just pin
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I'll mark that
it's
down.
the hefty ones. It's the
Yeah, exactly. These are
years.
going to be the hard hitters. So I have no plans for them right now whatsoever. So if you want them, that's fine. So the Nest subset. This one is really fun. So this deck has no effects, basically. Their only effects are... The only effect that any of them have is to induct themselves into the subset of a card on the field. Then, so what basically the point is, induct yourself into your opponent's subset and then copy their effects, right? So the first effect is induct this card into a subset of another card on the field. The second effect is when an effect is activated, this card can activate it too. And just like that, you create a mirror match, but you'll still have your own regular stats, right? So there's a chance of it being a mirror match with you having slightly better stats than your opponent, right? It's gonna be so annoying to play against, but in a fun way that I think only this game can really achieve because of how the induct mechanic and the subsets and the synergy and everything works. So the idea behind it is to steal your opponent's deck, basically.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
very tedious having to different game every round.
Yep, that's and that's what, because when you're playing that deck, every game that you play is going to be something different. And if you ever run into a mirror match, you're screwed because your decks won't do anything. Right? Wait, I was distracted. What's going on right now? I'm going through the prompts that we have for different subsets that are going to be worked on at some point in the future. Just ideas that I've written down for what I'd like certain decks to look like. Right? Now we get to the low tier, so these are just ideas for things that are going to exist later, basically. The Poco subset, basically what this deck does is they divide on impact, so if you attack into a Poco subset monster, when it goes to the graveyard, it'll just summon like 2 tokens, right? So it dies, boom, a little bit of extra defense. Both tokens will have 0 defense, so I mean, like, good luck surviving. But that's what these guys do. They're a minor subset. Ex Machina subset. I liked the name, and that's the main driving force behind all of it. Oh yeah, Ex Machinas are fun. They're runes that turn into monsters. You activate this rune, and it summons itself onto the field as a monster with like stuff and things. They'll also have actual monsters, but the whole point is, like, you know, Deus Ex Machina, where something comes out of nowhere to save you. So the runes, which aren't supposed to be able to be monsters, come out and they help fight alongside the monsters. That's a fun one. The Hellcat subset, probably gonna get a different name. No, this one is character specific. This one has to link into the Shadow Walker subset, so that one doesn't count. You've got the Baryon subset. This is what.
How does it link to the Shadow Walkers? I swear to, like.
So they are like ninjas, but when I was conceptualizing the abilities, certain things had been moved around, where one of the Hellcats was a Shadow Walker monster and they had a joint subset. And so I wrote some things in universe that were like connected to that, but then I changed the rules and made it so that each card can only be part of one subset, so it's going to have to end up being changed, is the long and short of it. So it will eventually become an open thing, but for now it's still linked up, so there's no point.
I thought the Shadow Walkers were like someone's archetype or something.
Yeah, they are. They're Ace's archetype, right? So he would eventually have gotten a power up, which would then, he would combine Shadow Walkers with the Hellcats, but that's no longer going to be a thing.
Okay.
Right? Baryon subset. Every avatar has a rune that triggers its effects or lets them use multiple effects per turn. I didn't think about it any more than that.
Ooh,
I feel like that might fit into your Power Rangers aesthetic, where it's like, okay, like Baryon red or Baryon blue, or however the hell you wanted to do it.
That's literally like the concept. So that's why I wanted to, like.
Okay.
Yeah. So the concept I was thinking of was like, they have runes. They're literally like, you let them, some of them need a rune on the field to activate their effects, and the rune like complements their effect.
Okay,
like each of them have like a rune that's like specific to them, like a morph.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you this prompt. You can do that or incorporate some of this, because I like the idea of the runes giving them power-ups. That's the main thing. It's just like, it's so, well, what I was thinking of with this was metabots, where you put the metal inside the metabot and it does stuff. But Power Rangers, like Power Keys, also makes a lot of sense. Letting them use 2 effects per turn can be what, like, it doesn't have to be an archetype wide thing. Maybe one of them gets that ability. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, 2 effects per turn. It's like the rune has an effect and the monster has an effect. It's not like the monster activates effect twice.
Let's see
So,
what you end up
one
doing
effect-
with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Neo Shot.
We'll see how it works out.
All right, that's your prompt. So do you want your prompt now? Actually, no. Let's one thing at a time. Let's finish the Wyvern lore first. Let's finish up on lore. Then, if you want to move over to the development side of the team, because
I mean,
everyone is
don't
sort of
you
in a
need to
place.
give me what's it called? Editing thing or whatever. Or is it public?
No, you take the prompt and you make a thing. Go.
Oh
make a
yeah,
thing.
I'll just
Yeah.
I'll-
And
yeah, I'll
then,
make
and
the
then
thing.
whatever you make, I then put back onto the prompt document. Right?
I'll make a thing.
All right, there we go. There we go. Super Sentai, yes. Do they get to combine like the Megazord? Ask Neo. He's the one making it now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's gonna be the combination. So
Oh,
I'm trying to sneak this into year 1.
I like that.
So-
Okay, so that means you keep that power level in mind then. But yeah, that's a shout. That's
yeah,
a really good shout.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gonna
Right?
be too crazy.
All right, love to see it. Love to see it. All right, so that is everything for today, if I'm not mistaken. We've done some good play testing. We found a massive problem and fixed it. We saw some pretty good lore, and we've given out some more prompts. So yeah, because again, everyone sort of got like an assigned role. Neoshock is a designated tester. Nat's working on lore. Zane's been working on subsets. Now Neo's working on subsets as well. But everyone sort of has their assigned thing. So Saul, if you're on lore right now, let's finish up lore, and then if you want to work on subsets, that's absolutely fine. I'm trying to create a cap because again, I mean, honestly, with what Zane and Brandon contributed today, that cap can increase, because I was trying to think like, okay, yes, create new subsets, but also think about how you're going to fund the creation of the art for those subsets. But now I have a lot more options because of Zane and Brandon, so I don't have to be as cautious about that. So nothing but love to those guys. Honestly, broskies. Now, with that being said, I think that's it for the day. I'm gonna go update the Swamp Dweller subset. That's gonna be the main thing, and maybe start working on a devlog. We'll see, right? We'll see on that front. But yeah, in any event, thank you very, very
What's a
much.
devlog?
Oh yeah, did I not mention I wanted to start doing like a devlog series now that, well, all of the rules are going to finish coming out this week, the last of them, like the battle mechanics and the status effects are coming out this week, this end of this week and start of next week. So
Oh yeah, I remember you saying something like about like showing the card to the people.
exactly, so I might start doing like a devlog on that stuff. I'm on the lore team, love to see it, right? Devlogs are like my favorite thing to watch on YouTube. Yeah, well, I hadn't been doing it up until now because like I don't code, so what's the point of doing a devlog? But like you can still showcase the development of the game, so that's gonna be a thing, right?
Hey, Soul.
Ah, who is that? Where did you come from? You can't do that.
It's me. You wanted
can't
to talk
do
before
that.
you fuck. I just wanted to remind you before you forget.
Okay, no, I'm actually really glad you're here. You scared me because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm wrapping up. It's good. Hey, so I was like, is that in my house or is that in my ears?
Both. I'm in your
Man.
walls.
Okay, actually, if that's the case, if you're here right now, do you have a second to talk?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. First off, how are you? Because it's been a while. That's not promising. That's not a
Situationally,
promising sound.
appropriate to my current situation.
Okay, well, that's understandable.
Basically, in the works of like figuring out work situation.
I see.
Like I'm still employed, but there's like problems. So.
Well,
But apart from that, I'm great.
I mean, that's hefty, but at least like
Progress?
you sound like you're in good spirits. So I hope everything resolves itself, because work stuff is that stress on the brain. So you never want that, right?
Yeah.
What I wanted to get a hold of you for was the subset that you had made before. the doppelgangers, right? I was going through their abilities, and everything still looks like it will work in terms of how the game is being coded. The whole masked status effect still seems good. The only thing is, they never got names. If you're not picky about the names, I can just name them. But more importantly, the art for them. Initially, the art was going to be, well, the 3D models that were being used were just going to be these guys. But I remember specifically that you didn't necessarily love them. It's just that they were the best fit at the time. These like demon kind of guys. So I wanted to find out if you had like any images, because you've got 4 of these like monsters that have this mask ability to be like infiltrate, like words. They've got infiltration based abilities. And so I wanted to know if you had any art that you wanted to like maybe be a reference, or you had like, if we could go on Google Images and just find something for like the 4 of them, and it's like, oh yeah, you can base it off of that, because that would be super helpful. That way it can look like what you want it to look like.
Yeah, I had like art in mind, but there was no like models for it, so I'm fine with that. To be quite honest, I have no fucking idea what I talked with you about them, and like, if you have a document where I can look up what each one does, I can give them appropriate names.
Can share that with you. Yes, I will say, I will link it to you in the dev chat. And I think it's appropriate to give you editor access. I usually keep editor access because this is like quite literally you giving them the names. There's no point in making it more tedious in this essence. It's not. I'm not going to be picking and choosing because you get to name them. That's up to you. So I'll link it to you. And you can just refresh your memory on what they do, and then if you think of like, hey, this I thought of a Google image or a character that I like or something that I'd like the art to reference, we can then give that to the artist and be like, hey, make it look like this, because now everything's 2D, so we're not limited to the model, so it's awesome, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's the bulk of it. I just wanted to, because it had been so long since we talked about it, and so many changes had happened, and I still wanted to deliver on giving you guys like the subsets that we had talked about. Leaf was plant dragons, but luckily I think I've been able to create or give the artist art that Leaf would really like, because he talked a lot about the specifics, like, oh, I want this to be a plant dragon that does this and it's this. So like, I knew all of that, but in your case, I didn't know exactly what you wanted, so I couldn't take a guess. So yeah. Yeah. Right.
Oh God.
But yeah, that's it. So thank you very much. So if you whenever you get a chance to, I'm just gonna take out these Unity assets because they no longer matter. And you can just.
I'm doing it right now. Just don't worry. Like.
Thank you very, very much. Right? Do you have a prompt for the mech star, or do you just want me to go off what you said? So once you're done, I do have a prompt for it, but I would say finish the Wyvern lore first. Then if you'd like to do mech stars, I can hand you a prompt for mech stars and you take it from there. That way we keep everything organized, right? I want to try and tackle like I want each person to be tackling one thing at a time rather than creating a conglomerate sort of mess, right? I'm tired and hungry. All right, let me name the time. You're gonna cook soon. You're gonna cook soon, right? Actually, wait, no, Geartomb. No, you're doing lore. You're doing lore. Okay, yeah, name things in the lore. Like Nat came up with random names that fit with like. So she was doing minotaurs, and they were like olden names like Asterius, Renrir, that kind of stuff. So she came up with names for people in the lore in like that same style, and like that's awesome. That can be a card later in the future. So yeah, you can name things in the lore, and then yeah, that's it.
Honest question: are the spelling mistakes intentional or not?
No, none of these things
Okay.
are intentional. What happened with this is both me and Zane were trying to work on this at the exact same time, and it did not work. So I was gonna go through, after I got the names from you, I'm gonna go through and clean it up to actually make it make better sense, because he was typing and I was typing and we kept on getting on top of each other. That sounded weird. I'm gonna run with
Whatever you two do in your free time,
You didn't say it. This is you and Zane.
Right. But yeah, so yeah, if you just, I hope it's clear enough to be able to just get like that vibe of what we were talking about and sort of take it from there, and then you can just leave links to the Google images that you wanted to be referenced, and I will take that to the artist, and that will be perfect. right? So
Wait, so are the effects set in stone, or how does the effects work?
what do you mean?
Because you said you and Zane made the effects. So is the effects like set in stone?
Oh no, the effects are obviously like, for example, the game was very different when we made the effects. So like with all of the cards that we make previously and have to update, the effects will be streamlined. They're going to be given easy access card text, so it's easier to read them because they're still in their very like technical jargon form. Talk less of actually like being rebalanced. I think they were balanced for the time that they were conceptualized, but the power level of the game has come down a bit since then. So they would be brought in line with where the game is right now, and then just have the text cleaned up. But yeah, it will still be the same thing. They'll still do the same thing, just in a way that makes sense for where the game is, right?
I mean, yeah. So what I meant was that, so, like, technically, Era could like switch up the effects, something like that.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
we were happy with like what they did.
yeah,
And
exactly.
if they're like adjusted to the balance of the current game, I don't mind.
Yeah, because
Like-
it's gonna be like, most likely what it'll just be is like, okay, the numbers get changed around to make, because like in the core of the deck is what the deck actually does, right? Like the unique mechanics of this deck is going to introduce the mask status effect where during the declaration phase your opponent doesn't get to see what the cards are that you put on the field until they actually attack you. So you can do some cool like sneaky plays basically. Don't worry, it's not as broken as it sounds, but that's the concept behind it. So that concept will still be part of it no matter what happens. It may just need to
Yeah,
be
sadly,
updated,
it's not cool.
right? Wait, did you say sadly?
Sadly, it's not broken. Everybody wants their deck to be the best. so,
Literally,
you know.
everyone so far has wanted their deck to be the best, and it's just like, I can't, no, but
If everything's broken, nothing is.
I think right now the most broken deck. So all of the decks in the current builds that are ready to come out are fine, bro. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I was like, okay, yeah, let's start looking at the next cards that are coming in. What's the first set? Oh, Shadow Walkers, right? The very first set of cards for the game, broken. Destruction effects. They can destroy monsters. They can destroy runes. They reveal face down runes. They can bounce it. And I'm just like, bro, because like everything was made so long ago. So
Bounce, destroy, reveal.
basically the point how Shadow Walkers work is they use a return mechanic. You activate a card, so for example, you have Shadow Walker 1, activate its effect, it does what it does, and then it returns itself to the hand to summon a different Shadow Walker. So you would effectively cycle through every single Shadow Walker in the same turn, which is where so you only have one monster on the field, but then you've done a bunch of different things every single turn potentially. So I need to rebalance it, which is why we haven't
How is
started
the
adding new cards
Hellcat involved as well? Like, what the
in.
heck?
So eventually, Shadow Walkers turned into a combination subset. One of the combinations was going to be one of the Hellcats. It's a whole thing. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna fix it.
Wait,
but
would the Hellcats the pop? Oh, wait, or
No,
would the
the
Shadow
Hellcat-
Catapult
the
effect?
Hellcats were not the pop. The Hellcats were their own thing. They have what I'm trying to
What did
remember
they-
what the first Hellcat
What did they do? Because
I
like
don't
that's kind of
remember.
crazy.
Let's see. I don't think I made any changes to the first Hellcat's ability. I'm pretty sure it's the same as it initially would have been. Preview. So his first ability says, oh, I never finished his first ability. Second ability, Renegade Shadow. Remove this card from play until the end of this wave. Target a Shadow Walker or Hellcat card in your graveyard and return it to your hand. So it's just extra resources for the Shadow Walkers and Hellcats. Choose an effect that was activated by a Shadow Walker or Hellcat summoned during this contest. Activate that effect. If this card leaves the field, summon Shadow Walker 1 from the graveyard. Shadow Walker 1 was the card that you used to initiate the combination summons. So that's what this card did. So you see why things need to be changed. You see why
Yeah,
things
if you
needed to be
copies,
changed.
if you
Right?
copy, recycle,
Right.
summon back.
So,
Yeah, that's the first one. So if it
but-
goes out, so he banishes himself, right? So doesn't that affect?
But again, so that was before synergy ratings were affected by your deck composition, and or rather
Banish.
by being removed, by banishing, right? So the game was really different when that card was conceptualized. When a lot of these cards were conceptualized, because again, all of the ideas will need to be brought in line, but that's the gist of it. Yeah. I never tried to make my deck the best. To be fair, GearTube never actually tried to make his deck the best, to be fair. But his deck is still pretty solid, right?
I mean, I feel like you tried to make his deck the best.
Well, it was a really cool concept. It was a really cool concept, okay? Okay. All right. I'm actually going to hop off now so I can eat, get to bed, and make it to school on time tomorrow morning so I don't lose my job.
Quick question.
Okay.
About the legality of using what's it called? The fucking image AI for inspirational pictures.
What?
If I get the Journey, is it Journey? Midjourney. The Midjourney AI to create me a picture of a prompt that I like and give that as artist, the artist as like
The
reference.
inspiration? Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
That's fine. Okay.
Yep, because we wouldn't be using the image AI. We would be using the artist's interpretation of what the image AI did. So it would still be different. So we would be able to do that.
Okay.
Right? So that's absolutely fine. Go for it. I look forward to seeing what you create with the image AI, because AI scares me.
It should.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, thank you very much for coming through, Neo. Ira, it's great talking to you again. And I will see you guys. I'll be live again for this stuff, most likely on Friday if training doesn't run over at work. Right? Okay. Much love, my friends. Take care. All right.
Bye.
All right. Friends, familia, Brandon, Zane, thank you for the love. Thank you for the donos. Everyone, thank you for hanging out with me. Honestly, we cooking. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to do loads and loads with this latest investment. Much love to you, my friends. Take care.